that was sitting in the passenger seat before both officers fired their weapons. The suspect was hit, but the driver fled the scene, later checking themselves into a hospital. They're currently in stable condition. A man from Indianapolis was arrested Thursday for causing what police are calling a 32-mile chase on Interstate 69. Here's John Herrick.
State police say a sergeant tried to stop Bryce Alkema in his truck for violating the left lane law and causing a driver of a coal truck to drive on the emergency shoulder to avoid a sideswipe crash. They say Alkema then refused to stop and ended up driving through Pike County and Davies County, but they say his luck ran out when he flipped his truck onto its side. Officers say Alkema had meth on him and was under the influence of a controlled substance. He was arrested after being treated at a hospital. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Another officer involved shooting, this one in Grant County. State police are looking into it. It was Grant County Sheriff's deputies who were first called to a home Thursday night after hearing about someone making threats toward another person. Police say Glenn Smock had stepped out of the home when they showed up with a shotgun and shot a deputy before officers returned fire. Smock was hit and sent to the hospital. The officer he shot is recovering. And a woman from Valparaiso was found dead yesterday morning after she was reported missing for about a week. Jamie Vlamos Jones was found in the woods near Clay Street and Lake Station. Police are still looking into how she may have died. And the Indiana Pacers had their 5-game winning streak snapped last night by the Oklahoma City Thunder in a 6-point loss. Pacers guard Therese Halliburton struggled in the game as head coach Rick Carlisle has a pretty good idea why.
I only ended up with 4 points and 6 shots, but they committed Lou Dort to him. And Lou Dort's as good a defender as there is in the league right now. So, that had a lot to do with it as well.
The road's only going to get tougher for Indiana. It's the defending champs up next. They got the Boston Celtics tonight with a 7:30 tip-off. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Around here, it's a little less about presents and a little more about presence. To celebrate, to share, and to give thanks. To be there. And right now, you can be there in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Shop any of Hubler's 12 locations or visit drivehubler.com and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle includes a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. You can be there for years to come because Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Happy holidays, Indiana. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations. May your season be full of presents. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
The traffic on the 5s at 3:05. Good afternoon, Matt Bear.
Good afternoon, Harrison. Looking at a crash on the north side. It's eastbound 465 at Westfield Boulevard, blocking the right lane. Bit of a slowdown there. No delay. We do have a delay coming into the south, but it's because of a crash going northbound 65 to the westbound 70 exit ramp. Okay, it's on that ramp. The left lane is blocked. Looks like somebody tagged that barrier wall fairly hard here, and we do have a slowdown as you make your exit. Also, westbound 70 from the east side slow after rural into the north split. That's because of a crash on the exit from westbound 72, southbound 65-70. That ramp is open. It is slow. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And a forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy skies today with a chance for some showers to roll through here. It's going to be breezy and incredibly mild. Highs near 55 with wind gusts near 20 miles per hour. I'm Wish TV storm tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! My name is Nigel. Guy Relford, the gun guy, Second Amendment attorney, licensed firearms instructor, filling in for Jason Hammer. I wanted to drill down a little more into this 32-mile police chase involving Indiana State Troopers and this 24-year-old little weasel. Kind of looks like McLovin from Superbad, just kind of a nerdy little dude that was... So he was driving a Penske truck, And the first thing that I saw and that you saw, Guy, that both popped out in my mind is the police were trying to pull him over for violating the left lane law.
Oh, I loved this so much.
Do you, as a guy that works in the law enforcement, you're not law enforcement, but you work in law. I mean,
Sure.
You're a lawyer.
Yes.
What's the left lane law, as best as you can explain?
Well, this just got passed a few years ago because Nigel, if you drive a lot on the interstate, which I know you do, what's the most irritating thing that ever happens to you on the interstate? It's some knucklehead camped out in the left lane,
Going slow.
going whatever miles per hour they're going, who will not pull over into one of the other lanes to allow people to pass them. And here just a few years ago, Indiana General Assembly passed a law that said if you're in the left lane on the interstate, if someone comes up behind you, you must pull over to the next lane over and allow yourself to be passed. And if you don't, there's a fine up to $500.
Here's what happened to me a few years ago. I felt so bad about this because there's also a law that's stating if you see a policeman or somebody, law enforcement pulled over on the right-hand side of the road, either if it's an emergency or if there's a traffic violation or something, you have to swerve over.
Yeah, we call that the get over law.
Make room.
Yep.
Now, I saw this coming down 65 South out of Whitestown, and I saw a police officer on the right-hand side of the road who pulled somebody over, and I don't know if it was an emergency or a traffic violation, but as I was trying to move to the left-hand side to swerve, there was another guy coming up around me, so I was not able to get over. Now, the cop didn't see this, and he was out on the side of the road kind of waving people over, and I'm getting closer and closer. I'm trying to get out of his way, but the guy to my left on the passing lane wouldn't let me swerve over because he was slowing down too. And the cop, I felt so bad, started cussing me, pointing at me, and he had his arms out. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I support law enforcement. I'm sorry, I can't get over. I can't. I mean, this poor guy, he was trying to get people out of the way, but he looked at me because I wasn't getting over, but he couldn't see that I was impeded.
Well,
you know what I mean? And I felt so bad. I felt so because that cop was cussing me and just pointing at me, and I totally get it. I understand. I wasn't getting out of his way.
By the way, and the law acknowledges that you can't always get over. So the law actually...
Oh, really? Okay.
The law says you have to get over...
Well, then I was totally right then.
Yes. The law that says that you have to get over if you can, and if not, it says you have to slow down. So if you're in that situation, the best thing
I definitely slow down.
Is have your left turn signal on, so you're indicating an intent to get over, and then just slow down a bit, and noticeably slow down, and then you're in complete compliance with the law.
So this dummy was in a Penske truck violating the left lane law. The driver refused to stop after he was getting flagged down by police to pull over. Continued. I mean, this was in, I believe, Gibson County, which is southwest.
Yeah, it started right there in Oakland City.
Oakland City, okay. It went into Pike County and Davies County. Here's what I don't understand. This happens a lot, I feel like, with cops. And I tried to get John Perrine, Indiana State Police public information officer, on this. I feel like sometimes the state police try to use these tire deflating devices, but they either don't work or the people that are trying to evade police get out of their way, and it doesn't work on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
I see this all the time where the tire deflating devices, the spikes are spread out across the road, but the assailant or the guy that's running from police, it doesn't work.
Right. But I have a lot of empathy for police officers in this situation because, first of all, the bad guy's not the only guy on the road, right? I mean, there are a lot of other people out there. So it's such a delicate process to get these things out onto the road, to have the bad guy run over them, but then to get them back off the road. And and they're attached to a cable where you can yank them back off really quickly. But I totally sympathize with the idea of how hard it is to get them out there where only the bad guy's going to run over them. You're not going to cause a wreck of some innocent civilian who's just lawfully about the highways. And so when they don't work, I'm never too critical. And I know you're not being critical either. So that's not my point. I just know they're very hard to use in a way that doesn't also endanger the public.
Well, because a second set of tire deflating devices were deployed in Pike County after they were deployed in Oakland City.
Right.
and those didn't work either, or the driver drove across them, but he was able to continue for however long. Finally, the dude in the Penske truck lost control, flipped on its side. The guy had meth on him. The guy was high on meth, I believe, and they got him. The other thing is, and that I was wondering is, what is the police protocol for chasing an individual that's fleeing police? Because I know there are some areas that are like, yeah, let's not get involved in a chase with this guy because it could be dangerous.
Yeah, different departments have different protocols on this, and invariably the rule is do not engage in a chase that endangers the rest of the public.
Probably like a neighborhood.
Yeah, and there's a lot of it, and
or a small town.
And some departments have just gone to a no chase policy. Just guy takes off. You know what you do? You get on the radio.
That's dangerous.
You alert officers, down the road. The old saying is you can't outrun a Motorola, right? So if officer gets on the radio, alerts people, down in front. But some officers, some departments just have a no chase policy. Others leave it to an officer's discretion and say you can chase as long as you don't endanger other members of the public. But gosh, again, what a tough decision on the spot, right there. Some guy takes off. And you believe they're a danger to the public for whatever reason, and you just watch them go. I mean, again, man, that's tough to be in the shoes of the police officer at that point.
At Hammer and Nigel, this is from Tony. Oh, he emailed us, hammerandnigel@wibc.com. If driving slow in the left lane is so bad, then why is there always 100 people doing it right behind me?
Okay, that's a joke. That's a good joke.
Hey-o, Tony.
That's a good joke.
I like it. You can email us. We often get back to my Twitter, by the way, my X. I can't get it in here in the studio right now. They completely wiped my computer that I use. I don't have any of my passwords or anything. But Hammer and Nigel at WIBC is the best way to get a hold of us. The other thing I was wondering about police officers in terms of the protocol when going after somebody is, at what point do the police decide, okay, we're going to swerve into the back of this guy and try to flip him?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because they chased this guy for 32 miles. Now, he was in one of those Penske trucks. I'm assuming that's kind of a box truck. That's what I'm envisioning. I don't know for sure. But I don't know how possible that is to do for a police cruiser going up against a box truck. But at what point, I mean, police have maneuvers where they can swerve into the back of somebody, and it kind of makes them skid and flip over, and lights out for the guy that's running for police.
Yeah, well, and it's designed to make the rear tires lose traction so that they swerve. They can, though, to your point, flip at that point, depending on the weight, the center of gravity of the vehicle, and how fast they're going, and any number of other issues. So that's something that officers are trained to do, and often do very successfully. But at high speeds,
it's so dangerous.
Once that other car starts flipping, you not only do you have to worry about the people in that car, but where's that car going to go once it starts being completely out of control?
And here's where I wish we could have got a hold of John Perrine. I don't understand how police can keep up with the motorcycles. The
200-mile-an-hour motorcycle?
Yep. Yes, that could take off just like that. I don't I've seen YouTube videos, I've seen TikTok videos. The police do their best to keep up with those guys that are trying to run for them. But I don't understand at all how a cruiser can keep in. I'm assuming they're talking to people. The police are in communication with people up ahead of the guy that's fleeing police on the motorcycle, trying to block him and stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, they have to get ahead of the guy that's running from police on the motorcycle. That's what I don't understand.
And I haven't seen this in person, but just based on videos, out there on the internet, there are guys on these really high-speed sport bikes. They're actually out riding around with no plates, and they do it intentionally because their intent is if somebody tries to pull them over, they're going to take off, and they fully believe they can get away from officers. And make again, we shouldn't make a mistake. Officers have a lot of different vehicles at their disposal. Yes. But I mean, when I grew up, a lot of officers were out driving these sedans with police interceptors in them that were some of the most badass cars on the highway. and they sound badass. If you're at a gas station next to one and it starts up, you're going, oh my, he's got something under the hood. So a lot of them have the capacity, to run pretty fast. It's a matter of whether their department protocols allows them to do so without endangering the public.
My man, Matt Bear,
Yes.
what is going on with traffic?
What's happening, fellas? Looking at the South Split, it is a crash on the approach and on the ramp from northbound 65 to westbound 70. Okay, the ramp is open, partially blocked, just a bit of a slowdown as you make your way through there. Westbound 70, stop and go traffic from the east side, Rural Street to the North Split. That's because of an earlier crash. Inbound 65, slow round west. Crash clear north side, eastbound 465 at Westfield Boulevard. A little bit slow now from Allisonville Road 269. Traffic sponsored by Mattress Firm. Score deep discounts and deeper sleep during Mattress Firm semi-annual sale and clearance. Get up to 60% off select mattresses and more. Plus, get a free adjustable base on qualifying purchases. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And it's going to be in the mid-50s all weekend long, but lots of rain. Like Sunday, like 95% chance of rain, but highs in the mid-50s. I'm getting a little tired. I don't see sunshine in the forecast for days.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in that. I saw 50s, and I was like, hey, I'll get the Harley out if it's 50s.
You're not getting
but
that Harley
not
out.
in the rain. No, not happening.
You've had some problems with that Harley, haven't you, by the way? You've ran into a few problems with that Harley, right?
Oh, well, I mean, occasionally gravity has become my enemy. But
I'm glad you're okay. You definitely don't want to be driving a Harley out in 50-degree weather with a little bit of light drizzle on the ground, right?
Yeah, no, I mean,
Okay.
and the issue I had actually involved a big diesel oil spill in the middle of the road.
Guy.
Which, by the way, I did that on my way to come do Hammer and Nigel.
I know, and you
sat here and
still
did the show.
showed up.
I did the show with 2 broken ribs. I did the entire Hammer and Nigel show with 2 broken ribs. True story.
That's how badass of an American broadcaster my co-host is today. Guy Relford filling in for Hammer. It is 51 of the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
Real deals are at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. And before the year comes to an end, take advantage of all of the tax savings. Deduct the total purchase price of qualifying equipment, including commercial vehicles, purchased or financed during the year. At Andy Moore Ford, they'll help you maximize your savings by helping you select the right vehicle for your needs. And they've got all the commercial vehicles. Andy Moore Ford has the biggest Super Duty inventory in the whole state. Over 100 Super Duty trucks are on the ground and ready for you and your business. And right now, you can save thousands on medium and heavy-duty commercial trucks because Andy always gives you more. Get it, Andy Moore? More. With an expert team and a fast turnaround, they know how to keep your business moving. Treat your fleet to more uptime and more efficiency, which means more profits. See for yourself why businesses like yours love Andy Moore Ford. 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield or online at Andy Moore Ford, MOHR.
I love Andy.
AndyMooreFord.com.
Big Joe here for your independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical. This holiday season, if you need them, they'll be there. B+W.com or 317-243-3581. For all your heating, plumbing, and electrical needs, B&W has served Indianapolis since 1961. 243-3581. That's 243-3581. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from your friends at B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer serving Central Indiana.
Neighborhoods are popping up everywhere, but if you want something different than what you're currently seeing, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, can build you a unique, custom home on your own private lot or anywhere you can bring your own builder. They've built hundreds of homes across central Indiana. Visit Joyner Homes Model Homes or go to joynerhomes.com to see floor plans and pricing and more. With Joyner Homes, you can even start from scratch if you want. Check out their 5-star Google reviews and visit joynerhomes.com.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and stop smoking without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Early bird special only $49.99 guaranteed. Also, lose all the weight and let Mark Patrick Hypnosis destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars Thursday, January 23rd at the Holiday Inn Express in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m., stop smoking seminar at 8. Or Saturday, January 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
I had the ring already. She had made it very clear what kind of ring she wanted.
Yep.
I pretended that I was going to kneel and picked up a pine cone instead of pulling out a ring.
What a jerk. But when I saw that ring, I was like, oh, he did good.
I really love Amy. I really, really genuinely love Amy.
I love you too.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
So how's this going?
Not great.
Not great.
On 93 WIBC.
I'm Nigel. Hammer's out. Guy Relford, the gun guy, in for Hammer. We have a some sort of website, this utility that we use here at the stations, behind-the-scenes stuff that it's only like available to radio stations. It kind of aggregates all the biggest trending stories in the country. And I'm not talking about X or social media. This is like a radio industry website. I find it fascinating. I'm always on this thing. The number one hottest story going across the country right now since 9:45 this morning is this dude that fell overboard on a cruise ship out of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read about this? 51-year-old guy went missing on a Norwegian cruise ship. He was going from Ocho Rios. That's where I went to. That was my honeymoon. Ocho Rios, Jamaica, to the Bahamas. He was reported overboard at 3 o'clock Thursday. Search and rescue operation, unfortunately, have not located the guy. And I would assume he's gone. I don't have any other details. The search was eventually called off. And he was part of a large group of family on the cruise, and it is like the number one trending story in the nation right now. First of all, have you ever been on a cruise, Guy Relford?
I have been on one
cruise ship,
and I actually wanted to ask you this question. Are you a cruise guy?
I'm not against it. I would love to do it. Maybe do a Disney cruise with the kiddos or something.
So you haven't done one yet.
Or the only kind of thing I foresee, I haven't traveled overseas, to Europe. I would love to do a Mediterranean cruise or some sort of cruise that kind of way, like those Viking cruises, or even an Alaskan cruise. I have lots of people that have done the Alaskan cruise, which takes a couple weeks or whatever. But I feel like that's the only way I'm going to get to see the world is if I go do one of those cruise ships that takes me from place to place, day after day.
Yeah, my big thing on a vacation is I want to do what I want to do exactly when I want to do it. And I mean that's what makes it different than my normal life.
Yeah,
right?
I think you can do that on cruises as well.
Well, except and listen, I understand this whole technology has gotten a lot better where now they're much better at getting you on the boat and getting you off the boat. But when I went on one cruise one time, and it takes forever to get on the boat because they got to check everybody's ID and and it takes forever to get off the boat. And then you go on these excursions where you get off and they have these guided tours that are leading you around. There's some person with a sign saying, we're going this way, we're walking this way. And I'm like, no, I'm on vacation. I don't want to follow some dude with a sign. I mean, I was great. The part that was cool on the cruise when you're just hanging out on the boat, you got nothing to do, with great food, great liquor, the pools are awesome, entertainment's fun, but the rest of it, I went on one time, Nigel, I'm never going again. But on this story, where we got a 51-year-old dude missing, it called me a cynic. My first question is always, talk to the wife, man. Is there security video? I mean, how's this couple getting along? Because, you're out having a cocktail, having a romantic evening under the stars.
I don't even know if he was married.
I don't either. But I'm always saying talk to the spouse, man, because, you're a little irritated with your spouse and you're right there next to the railing and it's 40 feet down to the water. Hey, how tempting would that be for somebody not getting along real well?
To be a psychopath. All of a sudden, you can't control an urge to push your spouse over the railing of a giant 40-foot cruise ship into the.
It depends on how irritating
the Atlantic Ocean.
It depends on how terrible your spouse is. I mean, I can see it being justified under some circumstances. So,
now, Libertarian Dragon on the YouTube chat. We're live on YouTube right now. If you want to watch the show, very classy Libertarian. Just wrote 2 words: overserved, overboard. Come on, man.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Inappropriate.
I don't have a problem with that.
I want to leave a lot of time here for Matt Baer, WIBC Traffic Beast, going to come in next. Going to review some stories, talk about the year that was for him involving the Supporting Sobriety podcast.
Absolutely.
Matt Baer, Traffic Beast, in studio next. All right, it's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 463-251-1912. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 463-251-1912. That's 463-251-1912.
Barkeep Vodka, they're local. It's made in Indy and distilled with corn from Indiana farmers. They're all about local. They make a better product, and they utilize a new compression filtering process that reduces the bite and burn and aftertaste. Truly the smoothest vodka we've ever tasted.
If you're like me, you like a good bottle as a gift for the holidays. And I'm telling you, this Barkeep Vodka, it's a game changer. It's like top shelf vodka sold at a low price, and it's made here in Indy. BarkeepVodka.com. Buy a bottle today.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Dealing with more than just rain. 51 degrees and cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. Radar mostly clear for now. Low of 50 tonight. Tom Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:31. It's not just the rain you could be dealing with in Indiana, reports John Herrick.
Along with that rain, watch out for the wind.
You know, we're going to be a little gusty today. We're going to have southeasterly winds to maybe 30 miles an hour at times. So if you've got any holiday decorations still outside, those definitely could get blown around a little bit.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says don't be surprised, too, if a sharp wind gust pops up at times this weekend as well. He says the rain in your area could be heavy when it comes down. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
There was an officer involved shooting in Lawrence early this morning, just west of East 52nd Street and Rickard Avenue. 2 officers pulled over a car for ignoring a stop sign. They say during this stop, a person driving grabbed a rifle sitting in the passenger seat before both officers then fired their weapons. The driver fled the scene, checked themselves into a hospital. They're now in stable condition. Russian and North Korean forces are not cooperating with the invasion of Ukraine. White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby shared some details.
These human wave tactics that we're seeing haven't really been
all that effective. In fact, we assess that they've resulted in heavy casualties for these North Korean forces. Our estimate is that to date, they have suffered more than 1,000 killed or wounded.
The U.S. has recently claimed that the joint effort was mostly the idea of leadership over in North Korea. State police are looking into an officer-involved shooting in Grant County. Sheriff's deputies were called to a home Thursday night after hearing about someone making threats toward another person. Police say Glenn Smock stepped out of the home when they showed up, holding a shotgun, and shot a deputy before officers then returned fire. Smock was hit and sent to the hospital. The officer he shot is recovering. State police are looking into the whole thing. And the Indianapolis Colts need to win their final 2 games, including this upcoming game Sunday against the New York Giants, and also get some help from some other teams if they want to make the playoffs. Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson said Thursday they're eliminating the outside noise.
We know that we can control what we do every day in this building, putting in the work and the preparation to go out there and get W's and just making it work on Sunday and just, keeping our season alive.
Kickoff against the Giants is 1 o'clock this Sunday. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:33.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
With traffic at 3:34, what's going on, Matt Bear?
There's some much improvement since the last time we talked. Crash cleared going into the south split. That's on northbound 65 to westbound 70. That is gone. In addition, the crash eastbound 465 at Westfield Boulevard, that has also cleared. And we see southbound 65 still a little bit slow coming in from 21st Street to Meridian Penn. Outside of that, interstate's looking pretty good right now. Traffic sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunken drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You will always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Scattered drizzle to light rain tonight with temperatures holding in the 50s. Saturday, very mild for this time of the year with highs in the upper 50s to low 60s. Spotty drizzle possible in the first half of the day, then widespread rain by late Saturday night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
The universe is a cruel, uncaring void. You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The key to being happy isn't to search for meaning. It's to just keep yourself busy with unimportant nonsense.
On 93 WIBC.
My name is Nigel. Guy Relford, the gun guy, filling in for Hammer. Also joining us live in studio, Matt Bear, WIBC Traffic Center, the Traffic Beast, also co-host of the Supporting Sobriety podcast. Matt, this was the first year of the podcast, right? The podcast started this year, Supporting Sobriety, correct?
Yeah, man, we are. I can't even remember how many episodes we're in, but we're like 50 episodes in now, or close to it, and we started back in March, so we've been putting out one every single week.
How you feeling about that, man?
I feel great, man.
And what's the response been? I mean, overall, looking back at 2024, and we could revisit and reset what supporting sobriety is, and there's some other stuff we want to get to as well. But I think it's important to remember. I mean, this is the last Matt Bear appearance of 2024. So, talk about the podcast for a second. What the response has been, and what do you think?
Well, thanks for letting me do that, man.
Yeah,
it's
I think it's important.
Yeah, Supporting Sobriety is the podcast, and I'm a recovering alcoholic, and what is today? Is the 26th?
27th.
27th
of December.
Today is exactly 3.5 years sober for me.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
exactly right on the nose.
Congratulations, brother.
Yeah, I just now remembered that as we were talking on the air. That's the craziest thing.
You got it down to the half year.
Yeah, it's the 27th of June. It's my sober day. And
Okay. Right on, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to because,
That's fantastic. Does it
What do you
seem like
mean?
that
You're
long?
not supposed to
Well,
what?
no,
Hold on.
it's totally cool, but it's not. See, I'm being careful and I'm drawing it back. This is what you're supposed. You get excited about it, you're happy about it, but you remember this disease of addiction wants me dead, and it's not going to quit until I'm in the ground. So every single day, it is a renewal. And my podcast partner Ryan Hedrick is so much better at illustrating this than I am. He's a recovering addict of just about the same amount of time, 3.5 years. And, I'm also a recovering addict, but he was just drugs for the most part. And we talk specifically to the caregivers of people like us, the people that took care of us, the people that helped us back to sanity and to get our lives back together. And our episodes, sometimes we get a little more spiritual. Sometimes it's a little more scientific, a little more medical. We've talked to doctors about how to administer Narcan. We've talked with Justin Phillips of Overdose Lifeline about the various ways they are doing fighting addiction. And then there are times like the last episode where Ryan and I just BS about the holidays and get it out.
Okay.
we just got to let it out. So we do this podcast. You can find it anywhere, Apple, Spotify, wherever. But as you have recovery, as you have a real recovery and just enjoying the sober life. And I say real recovery because there were times where I said I was sobering up, but I did that for other people. I didn't really, it was more lip service. When you have the real recovery, you have to renew it. Like I said, every single day in this podcast, and people listening to the podcast has given us the opportunity to renew that sobriety and to say thank you, at the same time.
Well, you're grateful. I feel like
it's totally a blessing, man. It's insane. I mean, because if you would have asked me 4 years ago from here to now, I would have said you need to be institutionalized right next to me. I mean, that's, because the sober life, in the life in recovery, the humility it teaches you, it teaches me to be an adult. If I hadn't been an alcoholic, I would have had all this. So there's also almost a little bit of gratitude in the fact that you were.
And you have a clip kind of?
Yeah. This is from our last episode. This came out Wednesday. We're taking a little break now, but this just came out. Yeah. When I say just not wanting to be the problem, guys, this doesn't mean we just go and we sulk and we brood. We go and we're happy to be with the people that do love us. And it is so important to remember there are people that love us, and we get into our, bad days during our recovery, and we're like, man, nobody cares about us, or everybody wants us to feel all that, alcoholic thinking, addict thinking that we have the right. And it's so easy to do, but we go and we show up and we're like, damn, I'm here instead of in rehab, or I'm here instead of on the street. And
Amen
it's
to
really
that,
pretty cool, man. It's really pretty cool. That's the reward of sobriety, is to actually be able to do something. And if we keep our gratitude in line, then we're going to survive the holidays sober.
And that's a clip of the latest episode of Supporting Sobriety, correct?
Yeah, and what we're saying there is it's easy during the holidays, especially if you're in early recovery, to, the pain can be kind of intense, a lot of times, whether it be with family members or over somebody else. It could really get to you if you're not used to dealing with your emotions without drugs and alcohol, so it's an easy time to relapse.
And Matt, the point that was made in your clip just there, and it was something, because I've listened to your podcast, and you said it's for caregivers, which obviously is true, but it's broader than that, isn't it? It's for people who love the person who is in recovery or needs to be in recovery, right? And they may not be actively caregivers, and they may be wondering what they can do to help, and they're searching for answers on what they can do for this loved one, and they have no damn idea. And what they may have tried to do in the past was completely unsuccessful. And so when I've listened to your podcast, what seems to me is a beautiful thing that you guys do is you deliver that information from an inside source, which is, this is what works and this is what doesn't. If you love someone who's in recovery or needs to be in recovery, here's what you do and here's what you don't. based on your experiences.
Thank you for the kind words, by the way. Yeah, absolutely. And that is exactly what it is. Anybody with questions? I mean, I'm learning from this podcast as somebody in recovery. Guys, I had no idea, and I don't mind admitting my ignorance here. I had no idea how monstrous, how bad monstrous fentanyl is. I mean, it is the a stone cold killer. I mean, I really don't believe myself or other addicts would have survived their drug use in a fentanyl world, and that doesn't mean we're special. It doesn't mean that we were different kinds of drug. It just means that we wouldn't have known what we were taking. Think about cutting drugs. I mean, they've been doing it since the 80s. And now the lethal change is that instead of cutting it with other reagents, they're using fentanyl because it's cheap.
Yeah.
And they're putting it in a drug. Keep the real drug. You can mix it with fentanyl, and then you can make more profit. It's a very dangerous situation for people using drugs right now, and that's why Overdose Lifeline, you can Google them, find them, and you can go there and find fentanyl test strips, for your addict or alcoholic who may be using. And I know it's kind of chewing off your arm a little bit there, but to have something like that, you can also get Narcan to bring them out of the drug use if they're ODing. There's so many things you can get there, but fentanyl is the one thing I learned this year and learned about that just seems absolutely overwhelming when it comes to drugs and alcohol and addiction. Right
you know what I learned from you, and something you and I have even talked about off the air too, is in terms of being an alcoholic, if you want to quit and you're at that point where you're doing it every day and you're doing a heavy amount of it, if you decide maybe to take a break one day and maybe stop cold turkey, that's a problem as well, isn't it? That's to just click if you have a steady stream of alcohol flowing through your body days on end, and then just to stop, that could be a problem. That's kind of one of the biggest things I feel like I learned from you this year. I had no idea that the alcoholic, like if you want to make a change, cold turkey not necessarily the way to go if it's bad enough, right?
It could flat out kill you. I mean, it could send you to cardiac
It's crazy.
arrest.
You're trying to do the right thing, and because you don't have that alcohol in your system, all of a sudden something different in your body happens.
See,
right?
that's how the disease of addiction gets you. You can't live with it. You can't live without it. You can't live. And that's why, the disease of addiction is so ruthless. And it is so insidious in the lies it tells, and just how determined it is to kill you. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be too morbid here, but that's really how
I think this is a perfect time. You know what? This is a perfect time to talk about this too, because we always hear around this time of the year something called holiday heart.
Yeah,
have you heard that term before?
Heard the phrase. Remind me, what exactly is it?
Well, I mean, like if you do an inordinate amount of drinking just around the holidays, and then your heart could go into AFib.
Yeah,
or something like that, and you could look that up and understand what that means. I think I have relatives that have had that before, AFib, not necessarily as a result of that, but just a heart condition. But holiday heart is where you over imbibe over a long period of time because it's the holidays, and then you start to go into like a little, your heart starts fluttering and beating fast, and that's a real thing as well.
Yeah, it is. And you don't mess around with this stuff, especially with the emotions and the anxiety you were talking about. And, you know, there is so much happening around the holidays. And then you might be thinking New Year's coming up. I'm going to get rid of this. I don't want to drink anymore. I don't want to. This is going to be my New Year's resolution. I'm getting into it. You know, my hands are shaking a little bit. I'm not going to. I'm not bound for the DTs. You know, the tremors with the audio hallucinations and the colors. I'm not going to get all that. I'm going to be okay. No. Detox professionally. Every time.
Very interesting. Yeah,
Matt, I got to read you this off the YouTube feed. A commenter said, I'm a mom and a grandma. My adult 49-year-old daughter is struggling with addiction, and I have listened to Supporting Sobriety a lot. It has really been helpful. Thank you so much, Matt and Ryan. How about that?
That's emotional. Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Thank you.
That's why you do it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And what's really important, even just, I'm glad somebody's getting something out of it. Because Ryan and I We're learning from everybody else. I mean, we only speak.
And people
from
are
our
learning from you. I
experience.
think it's reciprocal.
Well, and you're saving lives, bro. I mean, you know that, don't you?
Yeah,
I mean, that one episode on how to administer Narcan could have immediately saved multiple lives. I mean, that's what's so cool. And nobody will ever know. Nobody will ever be able to count them.
You can't quantify.
But they'll never be able to quantify, because right, you can't quantify stuff that doesn't happen. But I'll guarantee you right now, what you guys are doing is saving lives. That's what's so cool about it.
Well, the cool thing about Narcan is anybody can carry it. I mean, you could put it in your gym bag, you can put it in your backpack like I do. I mean, anybody could have a Narcan on them. It's just a little inhaler. I mean, and I thought, remember the first time I came in talking to you guys about supporting sobriety, I thought administering Narcan was intravenously, like through,
like in Pulp Fiction when John Travolta stabs Uma Thurman through the heart. I thought that was Narcan. I'm like, that's what I have to do to save somebody that's ODing?
Yeah, yes, I really thought that. And again,
that's not like that anymore.
Well, the reason I don't mind, I feel silly about admitting that, but if I had that thought, other people would too.
Sure.
You know, and the fact is, it's just a small little inhaler. It's like putting it in a nasal spray. And if the first time doesn't get it, maybe the second time, and you keep administering it. But a lot of times it does work on the first try. It's just easy to carry. That's all I'm saying, guys. It's free to a lot of places.
That point, what just occurred to me, I'm a crazy person about what I call an IFAC, individual first aid kit. And I have an IFAC on my gym bag. I have 2 of them in my car. I have 2 of them at home. And I'm crazy for tourniquets. I always have a tourniquet. I mean, I'm a fan of, I'm a firearms instructor. I always carry a gun. If I'm good at putting holes in things, I ought to be good at stopping up bleeding. I mean, that's just that's just the way it ought to work. Why wouldn't I have some Narcan inhalers in my individual first aid kit? If I can stop in a car wreck or do whatever and have my individual first aid kit, why wouldn't I go ahead and include? That's just a revelation I just had.
I think that's a fantastic point. First aid kits should start including Narcan.
Yeah.
Let's just start putting them in there and then making them like that.
Boys, we got to stop it right there. Matt, I know we had some other fun stuff we were going to get to. Probably would seem inappropriate. Let's do it next Friday, because I'm gone next week, but I'm back in next Friday, and we'll have some fun next Friday. But I just kind of wanted to relive 2024 in terms of the success of the Supporting Sobriety podcast. You can find it wherever podcasts are found. Matt Bear, WIBC Traffic Beast, thank you. Have a great new year. Thank you.
Sobriety is so good, guys. I love you guys. Take care. Thank
you, brother.
It's a Hammer and Nigel show.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Early bird special only $49.99 guaranteed. Also, lose all the weight and let Mark Patrick hypnosis destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars Thursday, January 23rd at the Holiday Inn Express in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m., stop smoking seminar at 8. Or Saturday, January 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
It's almost a new year, a new start, and the perfect time to review your financial portfolio. Let Trajan Wealth help with that, help you achieve the peace of mind in your investments. Matt Bear here. Hey, maybe you have an old 401k you aren't sure what to do with. Call Trajan Wealth today to discuss how to get that money working for you. The consultation is totally free. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Trajan Wealth's advisors work collaboratively with you to develop a portfolio with your priorities, your risk tolerance, and your unique goals and dreams. And Trajan Wealth is a fiduciary, meaning they have to act in your best interest always. That's peace of mind. Call the fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth, 317-480-4040, or visit TrajanWealth.com today. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.
Here's a real-life story that affects 50% of all of us out there. It's called divorce. If you've gotten divorced and now you're struggling to pay your bills and your credit card debts are completely out of control, you need to call this special debt relief hotline right now. We help people with all kinds of money problems caused by different life challenges, a divorce, a job loss, even heavy medical bills. All these life events can sometimes financially stress you out and cause you to get out of control. We help people get their lives back by showing them ways to consolidate and reduce their debt, in some cases for a fraction of what they owe. If your credit card balances are more than $10,000, call us and learn how to reduce your credit card bills and monthly payments now. Here's our number.
Paid for by Debt.com. Call now at 800-810-1820 800-810-1820. 800-810-1820. That's 800-810-1820.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts, Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
My man, Matt Bear, what is going on with traffic?
What's happening, Nigel? Looking at northbound 65 coming down to downtown. This is before 38th Street Kessler. That we have a breakdown in the left lane. No delay right now. A little bit of a slowdown. Southbound 65 is slow from 21st to Meridian Pad and eastbound 465 on the north side. Stop and go traffic Keystone Avenue to I-69. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
51, lots of rain and drizzle at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. I'm Nigel. Guy Relford filling in for Hammer. One of the things we didn't get to yesterday, Guy, and I know we only have a couple minutes here. We went long with Matt Bear, and that's totally fine. Go back and listen to that segment we just did with Matt Bear and his supporting sobriety podcast. It was incredible.
Best segment you guys have.
But one of the things that happened during the Netflix football games, both the football games are like blowouts. They were awful. More people are talking about the halftime shows with Beyonce and everything. But Beyonce's NFL halftime show kind of divided viewers after she made a taboo gesture during halftime. That was she made a finger gun gesture during her performance.
Oh no.
And then while the big bang sign appeared on a banner below the platform that she stood on, because she's kind of doing this country music thing and she thinks she's a cowgirl.
Yeah, right.
And she did the finger gun gesture. The NFL has a policy on those kinds of gestures, those violence gestures. A couple of guys from the Cleveland Browns have both been fined tens of thousands of dollars for doing that. And I think it was more kind of tongue-in-cheek, but people were joking, like, where is Beyonce's fine from the NFL for doing of course, that's a ridiculous thing, but it was tongue-in-cheek on social media. But it is funny that the NFL... they don't like those throat-slashing gestures, and God forbid they do the finger gun gesture, and you are suspended, you are fined, and that's the way it is in the NFL now.
Yeah, the finger gun gesture, listen, you want to make it illegal in the NFL? All right, I get it. But to the extent that anybody could possibly perceive that as actually threatening violence when Beyonce does it, I mean, come on. You got to be really working hard for something to whine about that.
Yeah, but even in
Beyonce.
the NFL, even when Deshaun Watson is doing it, you've got to be oh boy, he's threatening violence.
Right.
This NFL quarterback in front of millions of people watching on TV and tens of thousands of people in the stadium. The same could apply, I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, but I mean, let's look at how pervasive this is. There have been kids that have been suspended from school for chewing a Pop-Tart into the shape of a gun.
Oh my gosh!
There have been kids suspended from school for on the playground and doing the finger gun thing when all they were doing was pointing at somebody for whatever reason. Like that kind of looked like the finger gun. We better throw this kid out of school. I mean, the hysteria over this is so ridiculous. I know. I have an idea. How about instead of that hysteria, we just teach people actual gun safety. And responsibility, and then we can stop whining over something as ridiculous as a finger gun.
More Hammer and Nigel next.
Looking for a great place to go for car care? Hi, this is Lonnie Hinkle from Jiffy Lube, and I'd like to share the top 5 reasons that every Hoosier should trust Jiffy Lube to help keep their car running safe and well. Number 5, our computer system holds the maintenance data for every make and model. We know exactly what your car needs and when it needs to be done. Number 4, Jiffy Lube's training system is in the Training Magazine Hall of Fame. Along with companies like Ritz-Carlton, Starbucks, and Nordstrom's, our team does the job right. Number 3, you never need an appointment. We are ready to serve you whenever it works best for you, so come on in and see us. Number 2, Jiffy Lube accepts competitor coupons so you can get our great service at the desperate price of our competitors. And number 1, Jiffy Lube is a one-stop maintenance shop, and we make it easy for you to take great care of your car. Avoid the repair shop by getting your maintenance done at Jiffy Lube. And we now offer brakes, tires, tune-ups, and minor repairs at most stores.
So head to Jiffy Lube. There's really no reason to take your car anywhere else.
Happy New Year from Life Church. This is Ross Steele, pastor at our Pendleton campus. You've heard the phrase, New Year, New You. It's usually referring to weight loss or financial goals. But we believe that this year can bring a new relationship with God and give your year more meaning, purpose, and fulfillment than you ever thought possible. Join us at one of our 4 Central Indiana locations to learn how to connect with God and what His Word says about your future. Visit lifechurchin.com for times and locations.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
We set out to be the very best of the best, and past couple years we've actually achieved that. For all of the state of Indiana, we've been awarded the Dealer of the Year award twice now. Unlike other brands, that only gets handed to one dealer every year, and we're very proud to have won that twice.
Put the best to work for you at FamilyHVAC.net. Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
You might not consider yourself a tech expert, but that doesn't mean you can't protect yourself from online scammers with a little help from McAfee Total Protection. Whether it's a fake missed delivery text or an urgent bank alert, these scams can look incredibly convincing. That's where McAfee Total Protection steps in. So go ahead, manage your finances and shop online. McAfee will help keep your device's privacy and identity safer. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
Breathe in the wonder and joy of Christmas, where the extraordinary often shines through the ordinary moments, through kindness, care, and compassion. At Franciscan Health, we provide care rooted in faith, love, and dignity, and believe life is a gift and every moment is extraordinary. So take a breath and give thanks as we celebrate the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Merry Christmas. Franciscan Health. Love your extraordinary life.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for LD Smith Plumbing, and many times the holidays are when sewer stoppages must be dealt with, and the best of the best for that job is LD Smith Plumbing. They have the perfect equipment and the right people to clean your drains, or help you replace them if they're uncleanable because they're broken down. Best of all, they'll fix your sewer drains with modern piping that will last for decades to come. They clean up the dirty and stinky jobs with plumbing solutions that work. Find them online at ldsmithplumbing.com. That's ldsmithplumbing.com.
Your local news coming up in a couple of minutes after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. Cloudy with temps in the 50s on the Circle. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
Trying to avoid tariffs. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. A delegation of cabinet ministers from Canada meeting with President-elect Trump today as he threatens new tariffs on Canadian goods. Fox's Matt Finn with more from West Palm Beach, Florida.
President-elect Trump has threatened to impose sweeping tariffs against Canada to the tune of 25% on Canadian goods. Trudeau has told Trump that those tariffs would crush their country. Top Canadian cabinet members are scheduled to visit with President-elect Trump, trying to fix the trade and border security issues that Trump is warning will not fly during his second administration. Canada's new finance minister, Dominic LeBlanc, and Foreign Minister Melanie Joly are scheduled to hold talks with Trump here in Florida. A spokesperson for those two Canadian leaders say they look forward to building on Trudeau's visit here, focusing on fentanyl trafficking and illegal immigration.
Canada's finance minister is also meeting with Trump border czar Tom Homan. Department of Government Efficiency co-leader Vivek Ramaswamy wants to look at government regulations for the way banks handle overdrafts, as Grady Trimble of the Fox Business Network reports.
In a post on X, Ramaswamy is specifically calling out the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau for overreach because of a rule it finalized less than 2 weeks before Christmas. The rule he's talking about is part of President Biden's war on what he considers junk fees. It requires banks with more than $10 billion in assets to reduce their overdraft fees from an average of $35 to $5 when an account goes negative. Those banks also have the option to charge only what overdrafts cost them in losses or any amount, but only if they treat the overdraft fee essentially like a loan and make it very clear the interest rate that they are charging.
Elon Musk also expressing similar sentiments on X. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It took them a while to pull over. 51 degrees and cloudy in Indianapolis. Your radar is clear downtown. Not going to get much colder tonight. 50 is your low. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. A man from Indianapolis was arrested Thursday for causing what police believe was a 32-mile chase on Interstate 69. Here's John Herrick.
State police say a sergeant tried to stop Bryce Alkema in his truck for violating the left lane law and causing a driver of a coal truck to drive on the emergency shoulder to avoid a sideswipe crash. They say Alkema then refused to stop and ended up driving through Pike County and Davies County, but they say his luck ran out when he flipped his truck onto its side. Officers say Alkema had meth on him and was under the influence of a controlled substance. He was arrested after being treated at a hospital. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
There was an officer involved shooting in Lawrence early this morning just west of East 52nd Street and Rickard Avenue. Two officers say they pulled over a car that ignored a stop sign. During that traffic stop, the person driving grabbed a rifle sitting in the passenger seat, and that's when both officers shot their weapons, hitting the suspect, and the driver did flee the scene and check themselves into a hospital. They're now reported in stable condition. IMPD says the person they arrested for a Christmas Day fatal shooting was giving them the wrong name. Turns out Dazana Narfez Garzon's his actual name, not Andres Sanchez Garzon, which is what he was previously telling the cops. A woman from Valparaiso was found dead Thursday morning about a week after she'd been reported missing. Here's Sasha Nixon.
A private search party found the body of Jamie Vlamis Jones in the woods near Clay Street in Lake Station. She had been reported missing last Wednesday, December 18th. Officers say Vlamis Jones had parked outside of a paving company but then left her car and other belongings behind. It is not yet clear what led to her death. Sasha Nixon, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Got some rain today. Could get some more before the day's over, and even more tomorrow.
I think really once you're talking the southeast portions of Indiana is where we're going to see the best chance to see those rain amounts over an inch. Close to Indianapolis, the total rainfall looks to be less than a half inch with this.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service says it's going to stay warm as well as far as December temperatures go. Temperatures could be in the 60s at some point this weekend. Traffic and weather in about 60 seconds. It's 4:04.
Around here, it's a little less about presents and a little more about presents. To celebrate, to share, and to give thanks. To be there. And right now, you can be there in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Shop any of Hubler's 12 locations or visit drivehubler.com and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle includes a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. You can be there for years to come because Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Happy holidays, Indiana. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations. May your season be full of presents. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05. How's it going, Matt Bear?
Harrison, the stall cleared on the northwest side, northbound at 65 before 38th. Kessler left lane has reopened. No delay. Traffic is gone. Southbound 65 slows 21st to Meridian Penn. Coming out of the north split, northbound 65-70 slow through the ramp out to Meridian Street Penn. Traffic sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunken drunk driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You will always have a place of MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Scattered drizzle to light rain tonight with temperatures holding in the 50s. Saturday, very mild for this time of the year with highs in the upper 50s to low 60s. Spotty drizzle possible in the first half of the day, then widespread rain by late Saturday night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Steve Indiana for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Nigel. Jason Hammer is out. The gun guy, Guy Relford, licensed firearms instructor, Second Amendment attorney. attorney, is in later on this hour. A little bit after 4:30, we will do another edition of Ask the Gun Guy, which is a very popular segment when Guy Relford fills in. Any questions you might have about the Second Amendment, gun safety, firearms, ammunition, whatever.
Use of force and self-defense, anything gun-related. The gun laws in Indiana, you name it. We're here for you.
That's coming up a little bit after 4:30. If you have a question, get ready. I don't know. Some people have been calling pretty early for this segment because it's tough to get through. We do a couple of segments, but it goes by quick. So if you'd like to get in on it, I don't know, 239-9393, but we aren't going to start taking calls until 4:30. Dateline, Lakeville, Massachusetts. Amazon driver who reportedly dumped dozens of packages in the woods told police they did it because they were stressed. Yeah. Hey, man, the official mailman of the Hammer and Nigel show is Justin, works out of Brownsburg. They're doing like 9,000 boxes every day at a clip, like tossing them, sorting at their height, 8, 9, 10,000. And that's just at Brownsburg. I can imagine what it was in Westfield, different counties, Hamilton County.
Sure.
So this guy, this Amazon driver, who apparently dumped 80 packages in the woods, police found him. The packages, returned them to the Amazon distribution center. And then the next day, the driver went to the police department and confessed. It's like, hey, I'm so stressed out. I can't do it, which is strange to me. I'm not a delivery driver. I've never have been. I don't want to try to put myself in this guy's shoes. I want to try to sympathize or empathize with this guy. But to just dump all your mail like you're Newman in Seinfeld, that sucks. I mean, there's kids that didn't get their packages for Christmas because of this guy was, quote unquote, stressed. So I'm trying to decide whether or not I feel sorry for this guy. Oh, I'm so stressed. I'm an Amazon delivery driver. And police aren't going to seek criminal charges against this guy. But they're considering this a human resources matter for Amazon. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I get stressed at my job a lot, Nige. I mean, I don't just take all my clients' files. I don't take all my clients' files and go throw them in the woods somewhere because I feel stressed. I mean, sorry. And actually, when I saw this story, I had to ponder it for a little bit. And listen, I'm only an Indiana lawyer, so I have to apply Indiana law. But my question to myself was, why isn't this a crime? And it occurred to me that if he'd taken packages out in the woods and destroyed them, if he destroyed other people's property, okay, that's a crime here in Indiana. We call malicious mischief. But to just take them and dump them somewhere, basically not do your job and misplace property, that's going to be civil in nature. In other words, if somebody's property was lost or whatever, they'd have a legitimate lawsuit as a civil matter against Amazon or against this person individually or both. But that's probably why they probably looked for some charge to charge him with, and it probably doesn't apply unless he actually destroyed property.
Yeah, I'm trying hard to figure out. I've always heard stories about Amazon like, oh, you get docked points or however they do it. If you have to go to the bathroom, if you have to leave your station, they keep meticulous track of you at the warehouse and things like that. But then I have other guys that I know a guy that was in radio for a long time that got let go, that went to work for Amazon for 6 months and said it was one of the best experiences he's ever had in terms of having a job and getting paid and working with other people.
Hey, it's a matter of contract. You pay me enough, I enter into a contract with you. As long as I have a reasonable expectation and I'm well informed of what expectations of me are. Hey, okay, you want to know when I go to the bathroom? Hell, I'll take video. You paying me enough, I don't care, as long as I understand what the expectations are and you're compensating me according to those expectations.
I don't think I want to see a video of the gun guy taking a squeege. But speaking of that, along those same lines, I wanted to get to this. I'm trying hard to understand how I feel about this. Christmas Eve morning, this is a couple days old. I didn't get to it yesterday. Several baristas walked off the job at the Starbucks downtown on Mass Ave, which I'm assuming is a pretty heavily populated a destination for people on Mass Ave. That's Starbucks there. This is what, I'm not sure if this is the onset of the strike. There was like 5,000 baristas, 300 stores across the nation, 32 states who declared a strike against Starbucks. This is earlier in the week, right? The strike's over. But the Starbucks union said they were protesting. These guys were all, unfair labor practices, stalled negotiations. And the Starbucks workers union said there's 9 unionized Starbucks locations in Indiana. They didn't confirm whether or not they joined the strike. It was a news story. I believe our news gathering partners, Wish TV, had this story about Starbucks downtown on Mass Ave. Now, here is the breakdown. And again, the strike's over. And we don't know officially if this was the strike or not. But baristas in Starbucks make an average of $18 per hour with benefits that would bring the pay to an average of $30 per hour for those baristas that work at least 20 hours a week.
Yeah, I would need to know what exact unfair labor practices they're talking about here. I don't have a lot of sympathy. I'm not a Starbucks guy. Are you a Starbucks person? You stop by Starbucks?
Yeah, my 10-year-old daughter is at the point where she's ordering all these elaborate Starbucks drinks.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I've been compelled, shall we say, to stop by there on my way home from wherever I'm at and getting her a...
Yeah, I could care less about Starbucks. I make better coffee at home than I'm going to go pay $6 or $7 for, or whatever it is.
I like the London Fog tea drink that they have.
Yeah. And my wife likes, occasionally I'll stop by and get something for her, but I don't have a lot of sympathy. The environment in Starbucks seems to be not very inclusive. In other words, how many stories have we had of where police officers can't get served when they go into a Starbucks, and and all those kinds of issues. It seems like wokeness and progressive policy seems to have overtaken Starbucks, and I shouldn't paint with too broad a brush, and they may be very different at different stores across the country, but at my initial inclination, I just not have a whole lot of sympathy for these folks.
Real quick, we'll stay in Indiana here. Kendallville, Indiana. Does anybody know where Kendallville is? Where is Kendallville? You would think I would have done the research before I started talking about this. Kendallville, Indiana. Looks like it's northeast, way northeast.
Okay.
It's a couple from Kendallville discovered their $1 million Powerball ticket in their car on Christmas Day, just one day before it was set to expire on December 26th. So yesterday, this couple bought the ticket in June, and apparently sitting on the floor of their car for months, and they just discovered they had the $1 million ticket a day before it was set to expire. How does that happen? Like, why would you buy a Powerball ticket and then just say, I'm never going to win. I'm just going to wad this up and throw it on the floor of my car?
Well, I'm worse than that. I mean, hell, I don't play the lottery very often, but when I do, it's probably 50-50 whether I even check the numbers.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I rarely play it to begin with. But no, I could see this happening. But I mean, I have dreams. I have bad dreams about like not being able to find my school books before an exam that I've got coming up. I still have that, quote unquote nightmare. And there's nothing I hate more than having lost something I can't find. My wife will tell you, I get so frustrated. It's like, wait a minute, I just had it. Where the hell is my whatever? And looking for a Powerball, especially if you have some inclination that you might have won. I just love the fact that these people actually found it
by the
before
hair
it
on their chin.
Yep, absolutely. By the way, Kendallville was otherwise just in the news, Nigel. I don't know if you saw this, but apparently they're way up northeast, but apparently somebody in there tuned into WIBC from 9 to noon one day, and there's now a petition to change their name.
To what?
Well, I don't know. They apparently didn't like Kendallville.
Matt Bear. We'll end on that one right there. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that's incredible. A Rob Kendall jab. I'll take it any way I can get it. Matt Bear, what's up with traffic?
Very well done. Looking at eastbound 465 after Keystone Avenue, that is a crash in the center lane, and traffic is jammed up to Keystone Avenue, Keystone Parkway. Also, coming out of downtown, northbound 65, just a little bit slow from 21st up to MLK. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. With Progressive Insurance, you can protect your family, your home, and your furry friends with Life Electronic Device and Pet Health Insurance. Visit progressive.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Like I said, we're going to do Ask the Gun Guy a little bit after 4:30. Get your questions ready for Guy Relford. Ask the Gun Guy coming up a little bit after 4:30, and some of our favorite moments from Is This Anything over the past year. That is next. 51 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
The holidays are over, and the new year is here, making it the perfect time to think about the future. More specifically, it's the perfect time to think about your financial future. Right now, Howard Bailey Financial is offering a free retirement toolkit, a comprehensive guide designed to help you plan, save, and jumpstart the retirement you deserve. To get your free copy today, text FUTURE to 888-262-1104 and download your free retirement toolkit. Start 2025 off with a gift to yourself, filled with all the tools you need to plan for a positive and purpose-filled future. Just text FUTURE to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Make this new year your year to invest in yourself and secure a brighter tomorrow, starting today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
All the real deals are at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. And before the year comes to an end, take advantage of all of the tax savings. Deduct the total purchase price of qualifying equipment, including commercial vehicles, purchased or financed during the year. At Andy Moore Ford, they'll help you maximize your savings by helping you select the right vehicle for your needs. And they've got all the commercial vehicles. Andy Moore Ford has the biggest Super Duty inventory in the whole state. Over 100 Super Duty trucks are on the ground and ready for you and your business. And right now, you can save thousands on medium and heavy-duty commercial trucks because Andy always gives you more. Get it, Andy Moore? More. With an expert team and a fast turnaround, they know how to keep your business moving. Treat your fleet to more uptime and more efficiency, which means more profits. See for yourself why businesses like yours love Andy Moore Ford. 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield or online at Andy Moore Ford, M-O-H-R.
I love Andy.
AndyMooreFord.com.
The holidays are a magical time to get engaged. At Shane Company, we're here to help you create your dream engagement ring in just 3 easy steps. Choose a setting that speaks to your style. Compare diamonds and colorful gemstones in all shapes and sizes. Then personalize it with a decorative crown and special engraving. Or choose a perfectly preset ring that's ready to go. At Shane Company, you'll find everyday competitive prices, a no-pressure environment, and an unmatched free lifetime warranty. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Advent is now open in Indianapolis and Avon. Find out more at adventknows.com.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Shh. The silence you just heard? You could have used that space to reach your customers. Get your message in front of your customers. Text BUSINESS to 71007 now. Get results with Radio 1.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Big Nige.
Hello.
Is this anything? An Oklahoma woman was arrested for DUI after being caught driving drunk all over an airport and even drunk on the runway.
What?
Here are some of the officer's body cam footage where he was arresting Bonnie for being so hammered she ended up on the runway.
When you were drinking, were you just drinking at the hangar? Or were you, okay.
But I wasn't driving.
Okay, but you were just parked and drinking?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember the gentleman that stopped you while you were on the road here?
No, like, I don't even know that guy.
Well, I know. They don't really know you either, other than they saw you driving. And the fact, too, I think...
I didn't do it.
The control tower called us saying you were blocking the runway and driving around on the runway.
Man, I'm no alcoholism expert. I've never been to AA. Maybe I should think about going sometime in my life. I know people that have been, but I would say that if you ever find yourself so hammered that you are randomly driving on an airport runway, you might have a problem. She was like, I don't know this guy. Well, he didn't know you either, but you were all over the airport. She was just sitting in her car drinking at the hangar and decided to go for a little stroll. Thank God she didn't hit a pilot or a plane or injure herself or anybody else.
Please tell me she had Highway to the Danger Zone blaring on the radio as she's driving around the runway. I hope that was the case. Because I got to admit, I've told this on the air. One of the last flights I got on, I had the headphones on. I'm watching a movie on my phone, right? We're getting ready to take off. I should be listening to the cabin instructions, but I was watching Top Gun, and I timed it just so when the plane went wheels up, Highway to the Danger Zone kicks on. I was ready to go fight some MiGs. I was ready. Let's go.
I love the body cam footage, though. You got to see the body cam footage. It's hilarious. She's very docile, very cooperative. She just didn't seem to understand why she was being arrested. Yeah, you're drunk driving your car on the runway at an airport.
So you like the body cam?
Love it.
Okay. This brings us to great moments in officer body cam DUI arrest history. Okay?
Oh, no.
This is when country music singer Randy Travis had way too much to drink.
No.
He crashed into a convenience store. And oh, by the way, he was naked and started getting mouthy to the police officers, telling them, I hope you get a cancerous growth all in your bones.
Mr. Travis, you hit pretty hard over there.
I'm as fine as a damn dandy.
I pray to God that he will have a cancerous growth that it affects his bones and every part of his body.
Now, mind you, he's naked. Wow. 100% naked. Not like in underpants, no socks, naked. Now, this is the second part of the body cam. This is where the officers are talking to each other. One officer has already seen the condition Randy Travis is in. He's trying to prepare the other officer for what he's about to walk into.
I want to prepare you for something. The naked man sitting on the back of the fire truck. Randy Travis. Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Great moments in officer body cam DUI arrest history.
I want to prepare you for something. It's like the officer was about to tell the other guy, hey, there's like a quadruple homicide in this house. I want to just prepare you. No, it's a naked country music superstar sitting on the end of the truck. That's what you need to prepare yourself for. Just gather your thoughts, gather your emotions, because Randy Travis is drunk naked sitting on the edge of the truck there.
I know you've seen a lot of stuff in your career in law enforcement, but you ain't seen what you're about to see here in just a minute. I'm sorry, can I hear it just one more time, Allison?
Incredible.
Randy Travis, the officers preparing.
You for something. The naked man sitting on the back of the fire truck. Randy Travis. Oh, no.
Oh, no. I'm surprised he didn't say, not again.
Oh, again.
Is this anything? A woman is upset and a little embarrassed because a Target's self-checkout lane snitched on her for having too many items.
Really?
Here's part of a Nigel favorite, a TikTok video explaining how it all went down.
All self-checkouts are 10 items or less. If you have more than 10 items, then you have to go to a register. Today, there was a line at all registers, and the self-checkouts were empty. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and self-checkout. I had like about 15 items maybe. I don't know, maybe more. I was scanning things, and I was trying to hurry up before they told me anything. The freaking machine snitched on me. Once I scanned the 11th item, I went, and I was just like I jump. If a register says 10 items or less, it's 10 items or less, or it's going to embarrass you.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that's something. That's great. That should have been like the soup Nazi in Seinfeld. When you got too many of your items, no soup for you. No Target items for you.
Or you should have to pay for the person in line behind you.
Either way,
I'd be on board with that, too.
You get 10 items or less means 10 items or less. I don't need to stand there for somebody scanning off 20 items. Good, God, you got exposed and embarrassed, lady.
Is this anything? A Royal Caribbean cruise ship got hit by a huge gust of wind and tilted to one side for several minutes. Now, while that was happening, the passengers that were on this cruise ship are saying, reporting, documenting that the DJ played My Heart Will Go On from Titanic when it started happening. Here's one of the passengers.
We were in the theatre and they were playing a Celine Dion song from Titanic, and we actually thought it was part of a special effects. The ship started to tip to one side, all the bottles and all the glasses fell off the bar, and we're like, wow, this is amazing. And then we realised, look at the crew's faces, this isn't special effects.
Oh, it's not even the crew. Yeah, that's how you know you're in trouble. Like when the crew, part of the staff, like that's how you know, like when you're up in the air 30,000 feet and the plane starts to turbulence and the crew like all sits down and straps in. Same with the cruise ship. Everybody's looking around like, what the hell? And then the DJ, you tell me, I'll defer to you on this one. The DJ's trolling, right?
You got to. That's well played. That's well played. Like when I was the DJ at the casino in Shelbyville, every once in a while, a couple drunk guys might get in a fight somewhere and like security would rush in, but that's the ultimate time to play Why Can't We Be Friends? Like it's perfect.
Really?
Or Mama Said Knock You Out, or the Rocky theme song or something. Makes everybody laugh, diffuses the situation. But there, I don't know if that's diffusing the situation.
It's making it much, much worse.
You're making it worse. Like if I'm on a boat and I'm going down in the ocean, don't play the theme from Jaws and don't play the theme from Titanic.
That would have been, the theme from Jaws would have been much better, I think. Okay, time for Ask the Gun Guy. Guy Relford actually filling in for Hammer. Guy Relford, a Second Amendment attorney, licensed firearms instructor. He's here waiting for your calls. We'll take them live. Ask the Gun Guy next. If you have a 2A question, if you have a legal gun question, anything having to do with ammunition, anything in that realm, call now to talk to Guy live on the air to ask your question. 239-9393. Call now, 239-9393. Ask the Gun Guy next.
If you want to sell your home soon or immediately after the holidays, now is the time to get the process started. Get your home sold fast, easy, at top dollar, and guaranteed with Mark Deedle. Maybe you want guaranteed no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed-upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Andre in Noblesville had to say about working with Mark Deedle. It was time. Recently retired, my dream was to buy an RV and spend summers in Montana and winters in Arizona. I was ready to go quick, but I needed every dime of my equity to fund the dream. The Mark Deedle team made it all happen. My home was under contract in 3 days over my asking price and closed in 2 weeks. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Deedle at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people, obviously. But what's more, MediShare members like it. Their satisfaction rate is 98%. Imagine that. And Medishare is a proven thing, too, for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing. If you join before December 31st and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save even more right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is December 31st. So call now and you'll save even more. Here's the number, 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
This is Kevin and Kim at Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. The special time of the year, family is important, and we are here to keep yours warm and happy, just like we have for 40 years.
We appreciate your business throughout the year, and we are always here for you if you need us. So from our family and our entire team at Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Reinhardt is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Warmer than normal. Cloudy, 52 degrees downtown. Your radar's mostly clear of rain, but you might be getting a little bit to the north and south of 465. Low of 51 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 432. It's feeling warmer than your typical December in Indiana.
Temperatures in the mid-50s today. Near 60 tomorrow, and then we'll start to cool down a little bit as we get into early next week, but still staying above normal until the new year.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service says he doesn't expect severe weather this weekend, but don't be surprised if you get some heavy rain. A couple of Lawrence police officers involved in a shooting just after midnight. It happened just west of East 52nd Street and Rickard Avenue, where two officers say they pulled over a car because the driver ignored a stop sign. They say once they walked up to that car, the driver reached for a rifle sitting in the passenger seat, and that's when both officers fired their weapons. The suspect fled the scene, later checking themselves into the hospital because they were hit. They're now reported in stable condition. State police are investigating. Canadian officials are headed to Mar-a-Lago to meet with President-elect Donald Trump as he's asking for some changes to Canada's handling of border security. Fox's Matt Finn.
President-elect Trump has been threatening some pretty serious tariffs against Canada, which experts and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau say would crush the Canadian economy. And right now, some top Canadian cabinet members are scheduled to be meeting with President-elect Trump and his incoming border czar, Tom Homan, here in West Palm Beach. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made a now famous visit to Mar-a-Lago a few weeks ago. President-elect Trump has been roasting Trudeau, saying that maybe Canada should become our 51st state and Trudeau should become its governor if Canada cannot fix what Trump calls a flow of illegal migrants and drugs here into our country.
Trump's also suggested the U.S. should reclaim control of the Panama Canal. The Indiana Pacers lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder last night, a 6-point loss, snapping a 5-game winning streak. They were led in scoring by Andrew Nembhard, who put up 23. Felt like he was in a good place most of the game.
Just bring the ball up the court, get us into offense, start the action, make the first domino fall. I think did a solid job doing that.
While Nembhard was having a good night, Pacers guard Therese Halliburton only scored 4 points on 6 shots. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had a good night for the Thunder, 45 is what he put up for Oklahoma City. The Pacers back-to-back games. They've got the Boston Celtics tonight. And a tough day in the market to close out the week a couple of days after Christmas. The Dow dropping by 333 to 42,992. The Nasdaq fell by 298 to close at 19,722. The S&P 500 fell by 66 to 5,970. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:35.
After this hypnosis, I want to eat good food.
Since August, I can honestly say I have not had one potato chip.
It was life-changing for me.
And I don't think about desserts like I used to.
Bridget, how much have you lost now?
I had lost a total of 83 pounds.
Holy cow.
It's easy, it's fun, very relaxing, and very successful.
And I would just say go for it.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late night eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Seminar Thursday, January 23rd at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, Indianapolis Northeast and Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, January 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Registration 30 minutes before. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
With traffic at 436, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, north side, eastbound 465 crash between Keystone Avenue and Allisonville Road, right there at the White River, with the center lane blocked and traffic stop back to Westfield Boulevard a little bit beyond now. Delays at 41 minutes. Also looking at guys crash, Fall Creek Road, east of Sergeant Road. Somebody's hurt in this crash. Entrapment reported. I am staying clear. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. With Progressive Insurance, you can protect your family, your phone, and your furry friends with life, electronic device, and pet health insurance. Visit Progressive.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Scattered drizzle to light rain tonight with temperatures holding in the 50s. Saturday, very mild for this time of the year with highs in the upper 50s to low 60s. Spotty drizzle possible in the first half of the day, then widespread rain by late Saturday night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Boom, 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 boom. Nigel Show. I'm Nigel. Guy Relford, the gun guy, host of the Gun Guy Show. Saturdays here on 93 WIBC, filling in for Hammer. And it's time for Ask the Gun Guy, 239-9393. Very popular segment when you fill in, Guy. I'll hand it over to you. Who do we have waiting on the phones?
Yeah, we got full phone lines, but I'll tell you what, we're going to do this for 2 segments. So we're going to take absolutely as many calls as we can. And
first get to the point.
Yeah.
By the way. Make it quick.
That's right. Be concise. Yes. Nothing wrong with that. But first up is Julie. Julie, welcome to Hammer and Nigel.
Thank you. Happy New Year, Mr. Relford. Could you update us on your brilliant idea to have that bill in the legislature that expunge the records of people falsely claimed to not be able to hold a gun, have a gun? Thank you very much. How do we help pass it? That's it.
Yeah, I think I understand, Julie, what your question is. There's a bill that I've been talking about that I wrote that's going to be introduced in this session of the General Assembly. It starts in just a couple of days, that will allow people to expunge a red flag case off of their record if they've had a red flag case brought against them and they've won. They've been found to be not dangerous. Currently, there's no way to get that case expunged off your record. So if somebody does a background check, whether it's part of a job application or otherwise, somebody just being nosy that looks you up on my case, which is available to the public, they will see that somebody filed a case, that the authorities filed a case against you saying you're dangerous. And I've had cases that I've won for clients where we've established somebody's not dangerous, but then they've lost jobs, they've lost relationships, lost other opportunities because somebody looks them up and there's this, unfounded allegation that's been disproven sitting out there on their legal history, and it shows up on your criminal history, even though it's not actually a criminal case. So yes, that's a bill we're going to introduce this year. I'll be talking about it more on my show tomorrow, and we're going to fight like hell for that. We've got support from NRA, from the Indiana State Rifle and Pistol Association, and several other groups. So we're going to fight like hell for that and get that passed this year. That is to allow people to expunge that off your record, which you currently can't do. Let's go back to the phone lines. Roger is called. Roger, welcome to Hammer and Nigel.
Hello, gentlemen. I have held gun since 1985, and now with constitutional in effect, I'm wondering if the requirement to notify the state police of a change of address is still in effect for us license holders.
That's a great question, Roger. And the answer is yes. If you want to keep your license to carry handgun in effect, you need to notify the state police. The good news is it's really easy. Go to the state police website. It's in.gov/ISB for Indiana State Police. Look up firearm licensing, and right under that, you'll see, I want to notify change of name, change of address. Go on there, fill out the form, submit that to the state police, and you'll be good to go. And by the way, even though we have constitutional carry, there are still a lot of really good reasons to have a license to carry. If you have a gun in a vehicle, it can turn, a traffic stop into a 10-minute traffic stop instead of a 30 or 40-minute traffic stop. If you have your license, you can show that to the police officer. You're going to get down the road that much quicker. You need to be licensed by the state in which a school is located to have a gun within 1,000 feet of a school.
So having a handgun license puts you within that exception. If you're not on school property but within 1,000 feet, the federal Gun-Free School Zones Act say you need to be licensed by the state in which a school is located to be within 1,000 feet of a school. Now, there are other exceptions like private property not a part of the school. But anyway, my point is there are really good reasons to have a license, even though we have constitutional carry now. So, yeah, just advise the state police of your change of address, and you'll be good to go. We have another Roger. Roger.
Roger.
Welcome.
Over, under.
Wilco. Welcome to Hammer and Nigel.
Good afternoon. I've got a two-part question here. A few years ago, did a bonehead move, thought I was being robbed, and fired a warning shot. I pled to criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon. The judge basically said when I'm off probation that I could get my gun permit back. My question is, next year, I will actually qualify. He also said they wouldn't fight me getting it dropped to a misdemeanor. The two-part question is, A, do I have to go back and get my gun rights restored once it's dropped to a misdemeanor?
Yeah, and you said two-part question. What's the other part?
And then what was about the same thing. If I do, does an expungement, do you still have to go get your gun rights restored? Or because the judge ordered that I only had to give up my permit until I was off probation.
Restored is an interesting word.
Yeah, well, it's a good point, Nige. But the point is that in Indiana, an expungement does restore your gun rights for all crimes except crimes of domestic violence. There's a separate restoration process for that. First of all, it sounds from the question, Roger, that you were originally you pled to the felony. So having any felony conviction on your record, you can't possess a gun, period, at all, until that felony's off your record.
So wait a minute. He thought he was getting robbed, and he, from what I understand, fired a shot in the air.
Yeah, warning shots are a bad idea. They will get you if you're in a residential area. I've defended this case multiple times. If you're in a residential area and prosecutors can prove that your warning shot by shooting a shot into the ground, into the air, if that endangered somebody else in the area, even if they just come up with some theory that endangered other people in the area, they will charge you with criminal recklessness. Even though you're the victim of a crime, you fire a shot. Now, they have to prove that specific people were endangered. And they often can't do that. And that's why invariably I've won all those cases, but a lot of people get charged. And in this case, this gentleman pled guilty. It sounds like, and that criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon is a level 6 felony. And so if you have a felony on your record, you can't possess a gun. So forget about your license to carry. You can't possess a gun, period, with a felony on your record. If it gets reduced to a misdemeanor, it's still what we call a crime involving the unsafe use of a handgun. And you can't have a license to carry even with a misdemeanor conviction for a crime involving the unsafe use of a handgun, assuming there was a handgun involved in the original crime. If it was a rifle or whatnot, that doesn't apply. It sounds like it probably does. So in that case, if it gets reduced to a misdemeanor, you need to wait 5 years from the date of conviction, get that expunged off your record, and then you'll get your license to carry back. You'll have to reapply. Now, what's interesting is, if it gets reduced to a misdemeanor under constitutional carry, you don't need a license to carry a handgun. So you could actually carry under constitutional carry if it gets reduced to a misdemeanor. So I hope I didn't make that too complicated. If it's still not clear, call back during my show. By the way, if we don't get to any callers today, call my show tomorrow. Same number, 317-239-9393. My show, 5 to 7 p.m. tomorrow, the Gun Guy Show. But Roger, you need to get that first reduced to a misdemeanor, and then get it expunged off your record in 5 years from the date of conviction, and then you can get your license to carry back.
Guy, let's take a break.
Okay.
Put whatever you had on hold, because I want to make sure we have enough time on the back end.
Absolutely.
Okay. If you're on hold, stay there. Ask the Gun Guy. We will continue. If there's any lines open, 239-9393. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
I had the ring already. She had made it very clear what kind of ring she wanted.
Yep.
I pretended that I was going to kneel and picked up a pine cone instead of pulling out a ring.
What a jerk. But when I saw that ring, I was like, oh, he did good.
I really love Amy. I really, really genuinely love Amy.
I love you too.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
The holiday season should remind us that faith and family are the most important things in life. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. We hope that you succeed in coming together this holiday season with those you love and in the process create wonderful generational memories. Holidays have this magical power to magnify small things into ever greater memories over time. Happy holidays.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Is your home ready for another Indiana winter? Is your wallet ready? Affordable warmth and cozy comfort starts at the top. Your chimney. Your fireplace can save big on your heating bills. Chimney Solutions will clean and inspect your chimney so you can safely get the most out of your fireplace this season. For a limited time, save even more. Get up to a $2,000 tax credit when Chimney Solutions installs your new wood-burning stove by the end of the year. And ask for $100 off chimney caps, get $100 off chimney caps. ChimneyIndy.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings, late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars January 23rd at the Holiday Inn Express in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar at 8. And January 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
What is 988?
It's a free 24-hour suicide and crisis lifeline.
With trained crisis specialists, offering a listening ear.
For anyone experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis.
Or thoughts of suicide. Specialists have your best interest in mind.
And can connect you to helpful resources.
If you're experiencing a crisis, call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. It's someone who gets you.
And it's a way forward.
Matt Bear, what's going on?
Nigel, looking at the north side and the crash cleared eastbound 465 between Westfield Boulevard and Allisonville Road. No traffic is still slow back to west of Field Boulevard. We have a crash near Geist. This is Fall Creek Road east of Sargent, reported with injuries. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
51 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Let's get back to Guy Relford filling in for Hammer. Ask the Gun Guy, 239-9393. Guy, go ahead.
And again, we have completely full phone lines. So if you don't get through today, please call back during my show tomorrow, 5 to 7, same number, and we'll get you on the air during the Gun Guy show. Let's go to regular Jeff, as opposed to irregular Jeff. Jeff, what do you got for us, buddy?
I'm sorry. They know me on a Home and Garden show as regular Jeff.
Oh, I was teasing you, buddy. What you got?
Guy, thank you for everything you do for the Second Amendment, not only in Indiana, but nationally.
Well, thank you, man.
So I got a question.
Uh-huh.
I got a little 79 Spitfire, and I drive around. I've called you before, and I'm a Makarov guy. I like that. And I'm 6'4" and 240. I shouldn't even be in the same little Spitfire I had in high school, but I do.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm 6'4", 230, and I had a little TR6 for a long time. So I'm right there with you, brother.
So but when I'm on the bike, man, when I'm on my Softail, I'll strap on the 44 Ruger Red Hawk. Yeah, maybe not the most dependable, whatever. It'll, it does the business if I ever had to use it. I was wondering one thing. I've listened to you since you've been on WIBC. Have you ever had to take a gun out, draw on somebody, or defend yourself, let alone shoot at anyone? I know that you haven't done that, but have you ever had to do that, Guy?
No, to answer your question, Jeff, I have never had to draw my gun and point it at someone. On 3 different occasions, I have put my hand on my gun. I left it in the holster. One time, happened right down here on Monument Circle on my way to come do...
You're on your way here.
Yeah, I was on my way to come do the Hammer and Nigel show to do Monday Gun Day, and I got accosted by a very, very, very aggressive panhandler. And so there's 3 different times I've put my hand on my gun. I've never drawn it. I've never pointed it. But every single time I've done that, as well as multiple other times when I didn't even have to put my hand on it, that I was very, very glad I had it. So I hope, by the way, I talk to some gun owners, oh, man, I just live for the day. I can pull my gun, and not me, man. I say a little prayer. I hope I never have to pull it, point it, God forbid, use it. But if I ever do, I'm going to be exceptionally well prepared and trained to do what I need to do to protect myself and my family. Joe, welcome to Hammer and Nigel.
Hey, I'm getting my record expunged.
Yep.
And I was curious to know, because I hear you guys talk about having to list your arrest when you go to buy a gun. And I don't want Hunter Biden anything, and I don't have a dad that can pardon me. So do I have to report that even though I got it expunged?
No, and it's a great question, Joe. If you read the instructions on the 4473, which is the form you fill out in the gun store, because it asks you, have you ever been convicted of a felony? The way they word it is a crime for which the maximum sentence is over a year, which is actually how we define a felony. So they're essentially asking you if you've been convicted of a felony. If you go back through the instructions on the 4473, it actually says that if you've had the conviction expunged, you can answer no to that question. And so when you see that question, if you've had that conviction expunged, you can say no, and you're not breaking any law, and you're acting completely consistently with the law, the federal laws involved. Let's go back to the phone lines, and Robert has called. Robert, welcome to Hammer and Nigel.
Yes, I bought in the past 5 years 2 shotguns and a handgun, and sailed through the background check no problem. And then this last year, I tried to buy a 9mm, and I failed the background check, and nothing has happened. How do I look at what they're looking at?
Yeah, you can go to, if you just Google NICS, which stands for National Instant Criminal Background Check System, but it's just NICS, FBI NICS Appeal. You can go to that, and one of the options, you can do several things. You can appeal the denial. Another thing you can do is request a copy of the criminal history they're using to deny you. And you can do that right on that website.
I mean, would that just be a mistake?
It could just be a mistake. It could be your name that is very similar to somebody else's name who's a prohibited possessor. I'll tell you something that happens a lot is somebody has a misdemeanor battery conviction on their record. And I'm not saying this applies to this gentleman at all, but this happens all the time. If you have a misdemeanor battery on your record, and that's all it is, just battery, for years and years and years, authorities, when they were doing background checks, never got in to check who the victim of the battery was. But the law has stated for some time, since 1994, that if the victim of a battery, or it could be criminal confinement, it could be several other crimes, is a family member or household member, then that actually makes that misdemeanor battery a crime of domestic violence. And what the authorities have started doing just in the last couple of years is for anybody having a battery conviction, they're going in and they're figuring out who the victim was. And if the victim is a family or household member, it's a crime of domestic violence, which makes you a prohibited possessor. And I'm not suggesting for a moment that applies to this gentleman, but I have a lot of people that say, oh, I bought guns and I bought guns and I bought guns and now I got denied. That's the reason. The good news is, while an expungement doesn't restore your gun rights after a conviction for a crime of domestic violence, there is a restoration process. And I do those. You file a motion called a petition for restoration of rights, and we can restore people's rights if that applies to them. We got time for another one, Nigel?
Yeah, we got time for one more, bud.
All right, I'll tell you what. And again, if you're on hold and you didn't get through, call me tomorrow. Call me tomorrow, and we'll get you right through on the Gun Guy Show. Oh, we just lost Robert. Let's go back to the phone lines. Nancy, welcome to Hammer and Nigel.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
My daughter was arrested and charged with a felony 7 years ago. She served her 1 year probation and had her felony expunged. But it's still, if you go on to my case and stuff, it still shows it being charged with a felony.
Well,
Is that the way it's supposed to be, or?
Okay, and Nancy, felonies just don't automatically expunge. They can, under what's called alternative misdemeanor sentencing, they can be automatically reduced to a misdemeanor upon someone's completion of probation, but the judge has to order it that way. Otherwise, that just doesn't happen automatically. So I would, if you want to call my office or just contact me through relfordlaw.com, I can look into it. I can look her up in the system and tell you exactly what's going on. But it sounds like there may be some other legal work that needs to be done to make sure she gets her gun rights back.
If you to get through, the Gun Guy Show happening tomorrow starting 5 o'clock?
5 to 7 p.m. tomorrow. Same number, 239-9393. Give me a call during the Gun Guy Show and we'll get you through.
We have 2 more hours of the Hammer and Nigel Show coming up next.
Hey, holiday heroes. It's a special time of year at Shane Company. As a family business for 4 generations, we know firsthand that fine jewelry is the gift that says it all. From the engagement ring that says, "You're the one," to the diamond tennis bracelet that says, "Thank you for being you." We have the widest selection of fine jewelry gifts, in stock and ready to take home. Come pick out a pair of hand-matched diamond stud earrings or a necklace with a colorful gemstone. Check out our new Bloom collection, one of owner Tom Shane's favorites this year, featuring stunning sapphires, emeralds, or rubies. At Shane Company, every gift and every price range is crafted to our high-quality standards. We have jewelers working in every store to bring your gifts to life, making sure rings fit just right, setting center stones and engagement rings by hand, and engraving your pieces to make your gifts even more special. Your gifts will always be protected with our unmatched free lifetime warranty. Visit shaneco.com and come see us in store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Martha was ready to switch to a career in IT.
There's always a need for IT specialists, especially with AI coming out and cybersecurity. It's practically recession-proof.
My Computer Career even provides job placement help.
The career specialists, they're very helpful. They care about you as a person. You're not just a number to them. I would recommend My Computer Career wholeheartedly to anyone.
Take the free career evaluation today. Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. Not available in Washington State.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for LD Smith Plumbing, and many times the holidays are when sewer stoppages must be dealt with, and the best of the best for that job is LD Smith Plumbing. They have the perfect equipment and the right people to clean your drains, or help you replace them if they're uncleanable because they're broken down. Best of all, they'll fix your sewer drains with modern piping that will last for decades to come. They clean up the dirty and stinky jobs with plumbing solutions that work. Find them online at ldsmithplumbing.com. That's ldsmithplumbing.com.
Breathe in the wonder and joy of Christmas, where the extraordinary often shines through the ordinary moments, through kindness, care, and compassion. At Franciscan Health, we provide care rooted in faith, love, and dignity, and believe life is a gift and every moment is extraordinary. So take a breath and give thanks as we celebrate the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Merry Christmas. Franciscan Health. Love your extraordinary life.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
Tech scams, identity thieves, data leaks. Hearing about these online threats every day can be stressful. But don't worry. McAfee Total Protection is here to help you live a worry-free life online. What does worry-free mean? Well, it means you won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
Your local news coming up in 2 minutes after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
Canadian concerns. I'm Tom Graham, Fox News. Several Canadian cabinet ministers meeting with President-elect Trump in Florida. There are growing worries north and south of the border over the incoming leader's threat to slap imports with a heavy tax.
President-elect Trump has threatened to impose sweeping tariffs against Canada to the tune of 25% on Canadian goods. Trudeau has told Trump that those tariffs would crush their country. Top Canadian cabinet members are scheduled to visit with President-elect Trump, trying to fix the trade and border security issues that Trump is warning will not fly during his second administration. Canada's new finance minister, Dominic LeBlanc, and foreign minister Melanie Joly are scheduled to hold talks with Trump here in Florida. A spokesperson for those two Canadian leaders say they look forward to building on Trudeau's visit here, focusing on fentanyl trafficking and illegal immigration.
Fox's Matt Finn outside Mar-a-Lago. President Biden is seeking to protect his climate change legacy against President-elect Trump's effort to scrap it and focus on increasing domestic energy production. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson.
Now, in a recent speech in Washington, President Biden dared his Republican successor to climate-proof his agenda, saying in a recent speech that he wants to see these green energy and climate projects go forward, including in Republican-led states. And some climate activists say President Biden should be doing more to add some insulation, if you will, to his climate agenda, saying in a statement, quote, "There's a lot that Biden can still do in his remaining 6 weeks in office to stop the expansion of fossil fuels and send a powerful signal to distance himself from the incoming Trump administration and its fossil fuel cronies."
New York Governor Kathy Hochul, Democrats signing into law the Climate Change Superfund Act. Measure aims to charge oil and gas firms an estimated $75 billion over the next 25 years. On Wall Street, stocks ending in the red. The Dow falling up 334 points. The Nasdaq off 298.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It took a while, but they caught him. Cloudy and 53 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Some scattered rain showing up on a radar, low of about 51 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Man from Indianapolis was arrested yesterday. Police say they chased him for over 30 miles on Interstate 69. Here's John Herrick.
State police say a sergeant tried to stop Bryce Alkema in his truck for violating the left lane law and causing a driver of a coal truck to drive on the emergency shoulder to avoid a sideswipe crash. They say Alkema then refused to stop and ended up driving through Pike County and Davies County, but they say his luck ran out when he flipped his truck onto its side. Officers say Alkema had meth on him and was under the influence of a controlled substance. He was arrested after being treated at a hospital. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
There was an officer involved shooting early this morning. It happened just west of East 52nd Street and Rickard Avenue just after midnight. Two officers had pulled over a car they say ignored a stop sign, and during that traffic stop, police say that the person driving had grabbed a rifle that was sitting in their passenger seat. That's when both officers shot at the suspect. He was hit before fleeing the scene, and then they checked themselves into a hospital. They're currently in stable condition. Rain is supposed to be falling this weekend in Indiana.
I think really once you're talking the southeast portions of Indiana is where we're going to see the best chance to see those rain amounts over an inch. Close to Indianapolis, the total rainfall looks to be less than a half inch with this.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service says it's going to stay warm as well, maybe get even warmer. Temperatures could have reached the 60s before the weekend's over. And the Colts have to win their final two games of the season, and they need some luck from some results of some other games if they want to make the playoffs. Most importantly, though, win what's in front of you. Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson, ahead of a matchup with the Giants this weekend, says Indianapolis is just focused on themselves.
We know that we can control what we do every day in this building, putting in the work and the preparation to go out there and get W's and just making it work on Sunday and just, keeping our season alive.
A chance to get that W starts at 1 o'clock on Sunday. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband, and he lost weight, and his cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend lost 20 pounds her first 2 months.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings, late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Seminars Thursday, January 23rd at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, January 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
The traffic on the 5s at 5:05. Here's Matt Bear.
Guys to crash with injuries, Fallen Creek Road east of Sargent. Eastbound 465 on the northeast side. Just a little bit slow from Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Much improvement there. We had an earlier crash around the White River. It's gone. Inbound 65 slow off 21st Street to Meridian Bend. Just a 3-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. With Progressive Insurance, you can protect your family, your phone, and your furry friends with life, electronic device, and pet health insurance. Visit Progressive.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Scattered drizzle to light rain tonight with temperatures holding in the 50s. Saturday, very mild for this time of the year with highs in the upper 50s to low 60s. Spotty drizzle possible in the first half of the day, then widespread rain by late Saturday night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Steve Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel. Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it.
My name is Nigel. Guy Relford filling in for Hammer. This is one you sent me. I'm so glad you sent me this. Anymore, we talk about how congressmen, people in politics, stay in their jobs for way too long, even though people keep reelecting them. Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, the late Senator Feinstein, they are so old. Joe Biden, for God's sake, all staying in their positions for way too long. There needs to be some sort of age limit.
On both sides of the aisle.
Yes.
Mitch McConnell.
Yes, that's what I said, Mitch.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, come on.
So there's a New Hampshire Democrat. Her name's Annie Custer. Been there 12 years. She's retiring, Guy, from Congress. She's retiring. And one of the reasons, the big reason she's leaving is because, as she put it, Trump tried to kill her. This is a lawmaker. This is someone in Congress.
Right.
Quote, and then there's a part of it related to Donald Trump coming back. I was one of the last members of Congress in the gallery on January 6th. We have the security footage. I was able to evacuate. The insurrectionists were in the hallway, blah, 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 blah. I felt like Trump tried to kill me once. I'm not available for it again. And to that I say, okay, the only person that died in January 6th in the quote-unquote insurrection, which was not an insurrection in any way, shape, or form, was Ashley Babbitt, the woman who was a veteran who was shot at point-blank range by a Capitol police officer.
Exactly.
Unarmed.
Yes.
So when I hear somebody like this Democrat rep, Annie Custer, who's been there for 12 years, say, yeah, I'm leaving because Trump tried to kill me. Wow. You're really just kind of diminishing your position and your role. And the Trump tried to kill me thing is long gone, right? I mean, it's done.
And if anything tells us how much the American public generally and the American voters specifically rejected all this insurrection crap, it's the results of the last election, the presidential election. Because how many Democrats ran on that? How much did Biden and then Kamala run on that? This is the insurrectionist in chief, and and he pointed at the Capitol, and to his rabid followers, and with the intent of violently overthrowing the United States government. It's telling to me, Nige, that to this day, no one has ever actually been charged with insurrection as part of January 6th. And that's a crime, by the way. It's defined by the Insurrection Act, and it is a specific crime. If that's the vernacular now, that's the vocabulary used by any Democrat that ever wants to talk about what happened on January 6th, 2020, why didn't anybody ever get charged with that crime? That's what kills me. But even beyond that, for this person to actually want anyone to believe that President Trump sat around and said, I know what I'll do. I'll kill members of Congress. I'll direct these people to go commit violent crimes, and I'll kill members of Congress. That's my intent in all of this. Anybody who would actually want any member of the American public to believe that is a complete idiot who should not be in Congress.
And then Donald Trump, you see what he put on then Twitter before he was banned by the people that were then running it. He told people to go home, protest peacefully.
Yes.
That was one of the last things he put up on Twitter, is to go home, protest peacefully. Yeah, there are knuckleheads there that should be in jail, that should have went to jail, that did destruction, violence against other people that were trying to stop them. But the majority of people, look, come on, man. Everybody knows, even Democrats, I've heard talking heads like Bill Maher and Stephen A. Smith, everybody that hated everything Donald Trump represented since 2016 is now looking at everything and saying, well, okay. There's probably a big reason why the Democrats lost this election, and this is one of the things.
Exactly. And see, I couldn't agree more. If you broke a window to get in, you destroyed property, you stole something, then there are crimes, that are based on that exact kind of behavior. And great, put those people in jail, prosecute them. Now, that was 2020. We're getting ready to go into 2025. If somebody stole a podium or broke a window, I would certainly expect them to be out of jail,
put their feet up on
later.
Nancy Pelosi's desk. And not only that, but the Summer of Love, where rioters were breaking into police precincts and burning them down.
Yeah.
Never had any repercussions, have been out on the streets ever since. That, to me, is what I call an insurrection. When you put it in that light, in that perspective.
Well, it's certainly a riot, which January 6th got described as over and over. And on that basis, and where, people had their complete businesses destroyed and people got hurt. And again, take everyone the same. Don't put a political spin on it, and this is your point as well, and I'm agreeing with you, is take politics out of it. You burn somebody's business down, that's arson. You go to prison for a damn long time. You go to the Capitol and break a window and go through and steal something or break something. There are crimes based on that conduct. Get prosecuted, pay your penalty, pay your fine, go to jail, and then let's move on. But everything's got a political spin on it. And again, this last election is what, to me, clearly defines how the great majority of American public just completely rejected all this crap.
This isn't just spin. This is a Democrat rep.
Oh, I agree.
Who the Democrats in general were saying Donald Trump is Hitler. Donald Trump is a dictator. Donald Trump will murder people. And that's probably, someone would argue, the reasons for his assassination attempts, plural. And then you have this idiot in New Hampshire saying, well, I'm leaving because Donald Trump tried to kill me. I mean, can you hear me rolling my eyes right now, ladies and gentlemen, especially after the ringer that the Democrats and the legacy media put Donald Trump through?
It's so true, Nige. And you know what this actually tells me is that what this lady is really saying by leaving Congress now is that the results of this last presidential election tells her that her crap just doesn't fly anymore. It's just not being bought anymore. So she might as well take her little progressive butt and go home.
Matt Bear, are you there? Are we ready for some traffic to get us home?
Yeah, fellas, looking at Geist at a crash, Fall Creek Road east of Sergeant Road. Somebody's hurt in that. Southbound 65, a little bit slow. Not too bad, though, from 29th Street down to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. With Progressive Insurance, you can protect your family, your phone, and your furry friends with life, electronic device, and pet health insurance. Visit Progressive.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up a little after 5:30, one interview that got a lot of response that I wanted to play again. I only heard it once, I think. Our interview with law enforcement retired officer Lieutenant Randy Sutton, worked out of New Jersey, worked out of Vegas, talking about these celebrities that are being targeted by international crime rings. I mean, this is that are here legally. Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Burrow, guys that are, these people know where these athletes are at. Their homes are getting broken into by international crime rings. And it was one of the most fascinating interviews we've ever had. We'll do that at 5:30. And then next, some of our favorite moments from Are You OK With This? 50 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
Around here, it's a little less about presents and a little more about presence. To celebrate, to share, and to give thanks. To be there. And right now, you can be there in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Every Hubler Q certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Shop any of Hubler's 12 locations or visit drivehubler.com and choose from over 2,000 vehicles: Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. Plus, every Hubler Q certified vehicle includes a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. You can be there for years to come because Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Happy holidays, Indiana. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations. May your season be full of presents. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
If you want to sell your home soon or immediately after the holidays, now is the time to get the process started. Get your home sold fast, easy, at top dollar, and guaranteed with Mark Dietel. Listen to what Tim and Becky in Bargersville had to say about working with Mark Dietel. We were ready to downsize, but we wanted easy, so we hired an instant offer company. Big mistake. First, the equity hit was big, but then the company canceled a week before closing. But it was a blessing in disguise. We then called Mark Dietel, and we ended up selling in 4 days for more money than the instant offer. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietel at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark, Dietel.com. And when you call Mark Dietel at 317-755-4232, tell him Rob sent you.
Activate your passion to become more environmentally friendly and help save our planet, all while getting rid of your electronic waste year-round. Technology Recyclers provide secure, safe data destruction, backed by R2, NAID, and Rio certification. A promise to remain landfill-free and free e-waste pickup for your business. Join Technology Recyclers' purpose-driven mission to be the official sponsors of tomorrow by calling 1-800-237-3887 or visit tech-recyclers.com.
Big Joe here for your independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical. This holiday season, if you need them, they'll be there. B+W.com or 317-243-3581. For all your heating, plumbing, and electrical needs, B&W has served Indianapolis since 1961. 243-3581. That's 243-3581. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from your friends at B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer serving Central Indiana.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Thinning hair? This year, grow your hair back like I did. Call 317-522-2995 or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com.
Are you really okay with this? Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah! Hammer, a gamer from Saudi Arabia, has earned a Guinness World Record by hooking up 444 different video game consoles to a single TV. Are you okay with this?
Yes, I am, because it's a single TV. Like, I remember having problems hooking up like two different things to one TV, but this guy has hooked up 444 different video game system consoles to a single television. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, how in the hell does one do that?
Yeah, how many
There's only a
HDMI?
couple ports that you have.
Yeah.
So I guess this dude has a crap ton of these things called switchers.
Oh.
And he has to have this Excel spreadsheet of exactly what plugs into what. And the other part of this story is that there are over 400 different types of video game consoles. And that's true. He's got everything from the Magnavox Odyssey, the first ever gaming console ever released back in '72, PlayStation 5, Atari, Nintendo, Sega, you name it. Every version of it, this dude has it. And thanks to a series of these switchers and an Excel spreadsheet where he can figure out what goes where, he's been able to set this Guinness World Record.
Oh, I'm watching this right now. Wow, that is crazy.
Kind of cool. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to go big on video games, go big. And this brings us to great moments in Guinness World Record history.
Oh, no.
How about the Guinness World Record for the guy with the longest cry? That's me watching the Cubs get beat 1-0 yesterday. Just an absolute gem pitched by Imanga, but no, can't score a run.
I was going to say that's Paul Pelosi every time he sees Nancy naked.
Great moments in Guinness World Record history. This is the guy that set the record for popping balloons with his feet.
3, 2, 1, go. $23.69. You set your mind to go. Believe in yourself. Pursue with a passion. You can accomplish anything.
Dreams do come true.
That's interesting. They use that mantra for popping balloons with your feet.
Right.
Believe in yourself. Follow your dreams.
Great moments in Guinness World Record history. The most kazoos played during one song.
God.
I love it. I love a good kazoo. Now, this isn't a great moment in Guinness World Record history, but did you ever hear the group of people playing kazoos doing Led Zeppelin's Whole Lotta Love?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I like it.
Got a whole lot of love.
All right, let's do one more. We got time for one more. Let's bang it out. Let's do it.
Mr. Allison, have some mood music, please.
Come and knock on our door. Come knock on our door. We've been waiting for you. We've been waiting for you. Where the kisses are hers and his. Three's Company too.
This is very strange. More than 100 Three's Company fans dressed up as Mrs. Roper for a pub crawl in Canada? Here is the pub crawl organizer and attendee talking about the event.
A lot of people driving past us with their windows down and their phones up so that they could record us as we were going by. It was fun. It was a spectacle for sure.
Mrs. Roper as a character was so loud herself in her fashion choices and her hairstyle and all of that.
I'm okay with this.
Are you okay with
Hell yeah, I am, baby. I love this.
The Mrs. Roper pub crawl.
Because if you're dressing up like Mrs. Roper, you got the curly hair, maybe the rollers in it, the moo-moo type of thing.
Always with the moo-moo.
And if I remember right, she had quite the libido, too.
Yeah.
She was always wanting Stanley to come over and lay the pipe, and Mr. Roper would always make some excuse why he didn't want to. And then he would turn at the camera and smile. Like, oh,
I'm looking at it
good.
right now.
So good. I think it's odd of all the TV characters to choose this was the one, but I loved Three's Company back in the day. It still holds up because it's so politically incorrect now. The whole concept of Jack Tripper living with these hot chicks, it's supposed to be taboo, but the landlord has to believe that he's gay allow it.
He's pretending he's gay. Yeah.
So, and there were two different guys. At first, it was Norman Fell as Mr. Roper, and then Mr. Furley comes along. And every episode kind of had the same thing happen. There was some situation where either Furley or Roper would hear something going on and think that it's sexual when it really wasn't. Like, this is the scene where I think Chrissy and Jack were trying to fix the shower head.
Yeah.
And Mr. Furley, he's listening in from the other room, and of course he's freaking out.
Okay, Chrissy, I'll get in the tub with you, then we can get it on.
I don't think it'll reach.
Of course not. You've got to unfold it first.
And you see Mr. Furley, what? Like freaking out. It was every episode, man. It was the best. So here's the debate.
Yes.
Furley or Roper? If you've watched Three's Company, which landlord do you like better? You got Mr. Roper, who was there first, and they got their own spinoff, but he was more surly. But then here comes this flamboyant Don Knotts as Mr. Furley.
I think I like Furley better. Roper was kind of a dullard.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But like you said, surly, which was funny.
Right.
But yeah, Furley had more oomph.
All right, so I will see your Furley and Roper discussion and ask you this. Is the wacky neighbor, Jack Tripper's wingman, Larry, does he make the Mount Rushmore of TV neighbors? Now, I've put a list out here. These are some people that I think are worthy of contention, of being on the 4-spot Mount Rushmore of TV neighbors. Kramer from Seinfeld.
Well, yeah, he's up there, obviously.
Wilson from Home Improvement. Going old school here, the Nortons from The Honeymooners. George Jefferson from All in the Family. Ned Flanders, Urkel, Penny from The Big Bang Theory. Barney Rubble, the Mertz, Gladys Kravitz of Bewitched. Give me 4 names, Nigel.
Now, I could give you Kramer, Urkel, and Wilson. Beyond that, I'm not sure. Yeah, Kimmy Gibbler, I don't know. She belongs up there. And George Jefferson of All in the Family?
Oh, yeah, because the Jeffersons were a spinoff.
Was
of All in the
I didn't
Family.
know that.
Yeah.
He might be up there then.
He's on my list. My list is Kramer, Wilson, George Jefferson, and Ned Flanders.
All right.
That is my list. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
More rain tomorrow. 53 degrees. You got some scattered rain right now around downtown. Low temperatures to stay in the 50s later. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 528. Rain will be falling tomorrow in Indiana.
I think really once you're talking the southeast portions of Indiana is where we're going to see the best chance to see those rain amounts over an inch. Close to Indianapolis, the total rainfall looks to be less than a half inch with this.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service says it's going to stay warm as well. You could have temperatures in the 60s a few days this weekend. There was an officer-involved shooting that happened just after midnight in Lawrence, just west of East 52nd Street and Rickard Avenue. 2 officers say they pulled over a car that didn't stop for a stop sign. When they walked up to the vehicle, the driver had reached for a rifle sitting in their passenger seat. That's when both officers fired their weapons. The driver fled the scene, later checked themselves into the hospital because they were shot. They're reported to be in stable condition. Legal problems for Israel's leader. More from Fox's Paul Stevens.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's wife is being investigated for possible harassment. Israel's Attorney General ordering police to investigate Sarah Netanyahu on suspicion of harassing political opponents and a witness in her husband's corruption trial. Benjamin Netanyahu blasting the accusation as lies, quote-unquote, and, quote, nasty propaganda. The prime minister is charged with fraud, breach of trust, and accepting bribes, all of which he denies. Paul Stevens, Fox News.
State police are looking into an officer-involved shooting in Grant County. Sheriff's deputies say they were called to a home Thursday night after hearing about someone making threats toward another person. And police say Glenn Smock stepped out of the home that they showed up to with a shotgun and shot a deputy before officers fired back. Smock was hit and sent to the hospital. The officer he shot is recovering. And the Indianapolis Colts have some work to do if they want to make the playoffs. They've got to win their final 2 games of the season. That includes this weekend's game against the Giants. And they need some other teams to lose. Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson says they're just focused on what they can control.
We know that we can control what we do every day in this building, putting in the work and the preparation to go out there and get W's and just making it work on Sunday and just, keeping our season alive.
Kickoff against the Giants this Sunday is at 1 o'clock. With traffic at 5:30, here's Matt Baer.
Yeah, Harrison, southbound 65, still a little bit slow, 21st Street to Meridian Bend. Northeast side, eastbound 465. Dragging just a little bit from Allisonville Road to I-69, and the crash cleared in Geist, Fall Creek Road east of Sargent. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Scattered drizzle to light rain tonight with temperatures holding in the 50s. Saturday, very mild for this time of the year with highs in the upper 50s to low 60s. Spotty drizzle possible in the first half of the day, then widespread rain by late Saturday night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Steve Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. My name is Nigel. Guy Relford filling in for Hammer. And a story on NBC Sports caught my eye. I didn't know this. The FBI is investigating whether last month's burglaries at the homes of Chiefs quarterback Pat Mahomes and tight end Travis Kelce were part of some sort of transnational crime ring. The NFL believes that it is. They sent a memo out to its players. They said there's a crime spree targeting NBA and NFL players. And they're saying it's a South American syndicate believed to be responsible for this rash of high-profile burglaries. I want to bring in Lieutenant Randy Sutton. He is a retired law enforcement expert that's spent a lot of time in New Jersey and Las Vegas. He's the author of a number of books on law enforcement. Lieutenant Sutton, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Oh, I appreciate you having me on. It's it's an interesting topic.
Well, does this sound familiar to you at all? I saw this kind of flew under the radar. Transnational crime rings targeting NFL and NBA players?
Well, they're only targeting them at this time. They've actually been active for a number of years.
Wow.
They are responsible for millions and millions and millions of dollars in thefts and burglaries over the years. It's an interesting investigation and very difficult one because you're talking about literally a group of people flying in from Chile, Colombia, Peru, Ecuador. Now they're not all associated with one another, but they are taking advantage of the criminal justice system here in the States. They've been predominantly going after people in California, Hollywood types, very wealthy people, and what makes it difficult is that they go to different jurisdictions. They're highly sophisticated. They use equipment that can defeat security systems. They use drones for surveillance.
Wow.
It is very sophisticated stuff. And the NFL people that they're targeting now, they're right in their target window because they're very wealthy, and they're going after things that can raise, they can literally, pop a house like that and walk out with $300,000-$400,000 or even millions of dollars.
So this isn't like some smash and grab job. This is, according to public records, these groups rely on public records. You mentioned drones and surveillance. They're checking schedules and social media accounts. They wait for the houses to be empty. And you're saying in some cases, even if a high-profile athlete sets their alarm in their house when they're away, they can beat that?
Yeah, they have found that they have equipment that can defeat, many of the security systems. And one of the people that was arrested was a 17-year-old Chilean guy, and because of the lax laws in California, he was released with no bail, low bail.
Wow.
And went out and surprisingly did it again.
Yeah, you had mentioned in the opening there, you said these guys are flying in from different southern countries and taking advantage of the criminal justice system.
Absolutely, they are, and even after, and we're talking high dollar amounts here. There's still the criminal justice system, especially in California, has been so lax when it comes down to prosecutions, and of course, Gascon, the district attorney there, which thankfully has been defeated.
Yes,
basically didn't prosecute any of these crimes. So it is literally carte blanche for them, and with no risk.
And these guys are getting into the country. It's not like this is some thing where they're sneaking in through the southern border. They're coming here legitimately.
Both.
Oh, okay.
But they're coming in on lax tourist visas.
Gotcha.
Because there's very, very little scrutiny there.
Speaking with Lieutenant Randy Sutton, crime prevention expert, longtime veteran of law enforcement, talking about these high-profile burglaries, especially Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, part of some transnational crime rings. Lieutenant, I was a radio DJ. I've been in radio almost 30 years. In my 20s, I was always throwing parties at my house. There was friends of friends of friends. People I didn't know were always coming to my house. And then it was pretty easy to tell when I wasn't home. And I got broken into twice in the early 2000s. I was on the radio. Oh, Nigel's not home. I was just at a party with a friend of a friend of a friend. Let's go kick in his door and steal everything he has. That happened to me twice. Is part of this, like I read this NBC News article, and they're keeping track of these players' social media accounts and schedules, right?
Yes, that's correct. There are several ways that they target folks. With the high-profile people, especially with a member of a team, they know exactly where they're going to be. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't people that stay at the residence, children, things like that.
Sure.
But that's where their surveillance comes in, and they're very adept at doing the surveillance and doing their research. So that's what makes this such a challenging investigation. Multiple jurisdictions. Very often, one department will know that they're investigating something of a very similar nature that happens either across the state or even a different state, and so that's why the FBI is involved, because this is a multi-state conspiracy.
And again, like I mentioned earlier, this isn't like there's something where they come and kick on the door and it's smash and grab. You're saying, I mean, this is extensive surveillance, checking team schedules, social media accounts, but you have to be pretty adept. You have to know what you're doing when you're messing with alarm systems and stuff like that. So it's not like these guys, these South American syndicates are dummies. They learned this somewhere. Where are they learning all this?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They actually have in some of the people that have been arrested, they determined that they received this training in South America, and they go to school for this. I don't know what the college is. It Crook College? I don't know.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, they're getting trained in these sophisticated techniques and utilizing equipment, and so you're talking about a very challenging crime venture for law enforcement to bust out. And then, even when they're arrested, they go back home and they're never extradited, and that's the end of it.
Yeah. We have somewhat of a similar problem here in Indianapolis. We call it the revolving door of the criminal justice system, Lieutenant. We're speaking with Lieutenant Randy Sutton, as a retired crime prevention expert, talking about some of these high-profile burglaries with celebrities and NFL and NBA athletes.
So where do we go from it? What can I learn from this crime spree? Like, I never post when I go on vacation now. I never post pictures until after I'm home. You know what I mean? I mean, that's kind of a basic thing you could do. What could like normal people learn from crime sprees like this? And what else could we do to prevent? I read a note like some celebrities are lining up for high-priced security dogs. Now, not everybody can do that, I know, but what can, Joe Sixpack learn from something like this?
Well, in order to target harden your place, well, let me say this: if somebody wants to get in and they're sophisticated like this, they're getting in. There's no way to
really.
Yeah. Unfortunately, unless you're a mega millionaire and you have you make a fortress. Nobody lives like that. But here's what they're going after is jewelry. They're going after jewelry and things that they can, your electronics. They're going after stuff, money, cash, sometimes guns, and jewelry items that, especially, that's why they're targeting very, very high value, high net worth people, because they're going after the stuff that they can. I mean, one house they got $8 million worth of jewelry.
Wow.
$8 million. So what's the answer to that? Well, a safe deposit box for your really, if you have that kind of you want to safeguard it in a really secure safe and or put it in a safe deposit box. But this is what they're going after. So. And generally speaking, they're not armed. They don't want confrontation. But they have gone into homes where people are there because they missed somebody. In fact, one of right outside of Hollywood, they broke into a home thinking no one was there, but there actually was, and as a result, she called the police, and the police got there and wound up arresting 4 of them. So they're not infallible, that's for sure. They have not been known to be armed, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that there's not danger, because when confronted, you never know.
Hey, Lieutenant, we're speaking with Lieutenant Randy Sutton, crime prevention expert. Fascinating and scary stuff. Do you is there anything you want to mention before we let you go here? You have a podcast. I know you have. You're the founder of The Wounded Blue, and you got a book coming out. Anything you want to talk about?
I would love to. I have a great podcast called A Cop's Life that I urge people to get your podcast on Apple or wherever you get your podcast, A Cop's Life. And The Wounded Blue is an organization that is doing so much good for injured and disabled police officers. We're a nationwide charity that helps injured and disabled officers, thewoundedblue.org.
That is Lieutenant Randy Sutton, crime prevention expert. Lieutenant, I hope we can keep you in the Rolodex, have you on again, man. This was insightful conversation. And coming up next, the very last Beer Sample Friday of 2024. I picked out the libations, and let's just say I got a good deal on a discount at CVS earlier this morning, and we'll try it out on the air next.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, why would I put up with that? Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
All the real deals are at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. And before the year comes to an end, take advantage of all of the tax savings. Deduct the total purchase price of qualifying equipment, including commercial vehicles, purchased or financed during the year. At Andy Moore Ford, they'll help you maximize your savings by helping you select the right vehicle for your needs. And they've got all the commercial vehicles. Andy Moore Ford has the biggest Super Duty inventory in the whole state. Over 100 Super Duty trucks are on the ground and ready for you and your business. And right now, you can save thousands on medium and heavy-duty commercial trucks because Andy always gives you more. Get it, Andy Moore? More. With an expert team and a fast turnaround, they know how to keep your business moving. Treat your fleet to more uptime and more efficiency, which means more profits. See for yourself why businesses like yours love Andy Moore Ford. 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield or online at Andy Moore Ford, MOHR. AndyMooreFord.com.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
It's the most magical time of the year. At Shane Company, we're feeling grateful for you. Since 1929, throughout 4 generations as a family business, we always put our customers first. My team and I handpick only the most beautiful diamonds and gemstones, ensure our jewelry is crafted with care, and provide an unmatched free lifetime warranty because we're in it for life too. From our family to yours, happy holidays. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Progressive Insurance asks, what do your home and auto have in common? They're yours, and Progressive protects them both. Bundle today at Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
I'm a firefighter.
A teacher.
I'm a farmer. I'm a barber.
A waitress. A mom. We're all part of your community. Every day we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good, others not so much.
But that's life. It's when you experience a moment of uncertainty. Something or someone's behavior that doesn't seem quite right.
These are the moments to take a pause.
Because if something doesn't feel right, it's probably not. It's not about paranoia
or being afraid.
It's about standing up and protecting our communities.
One detail at a time.
Because a lot of little details can become a pattern.
We
trust our instincts.
Just like you should.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Matt Bear, what's going on with driving?
Yeah, Nigel, eastbound 465 slow from Allisonville Road over to I-69 and inbound 69 slow on that exit from southbound 69 to 465. And outside of that, interstates are delightful. Everything moving outbound on 70 on the east side looking great. That's eastbound 70 from the north split out to 465. Shouldn't take you more than a couple of minutes. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
53 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
Right now.
Hammer and Nigel present.
Beer sample.
Fry.
I got some beers. Let's drink them, huh?
Beer's on sale, people. Come
down, get you some. My name is Nigel. Hammer's gone. Guy Relford, the gun guy, filling in for Hammer. as luck would have it on a beer sample Friday. Guy Relford, by the way, we're brought to you by Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, having their year-end clearance sale. I've got Tempur-Pedic mattresses from Thompson. I've got outdoor furniture from Thompson. All my kids have their beds from Thompson, and they are having a huge sale right now. Thanks to Spencer and everybody at Thompson Furniture and Mattress this year for sponsoring Beer Sample Friday.
And they are great people down there. I've been down there.
Yeah.
We've done live spots from down there.
That's right.
They're not only a great furniture store, they're just great people to do business with.
Now, they are sponsors. They provide the monetary funds it takes to facilitate Beer Sample Friday. Sometimes we sample beer. Sometimes we sample other things, not necessarily beer. Sometimes it's even like cocktails. Sometimes it's spirits. But this time it is, well, here, I saw this. By the way, CVS, guy, CVS, the drugstore, underrated place to buy wine and spirits, okay?
I couldn't agree more. There are times when I'm on my way home, my wife's told me to pick up a particular bottle of wine. I'll stop by 2 or 3 liquor stores.
Yeah,
can't find it, but it's at CVS.
And on sale.
And I was going to say, at
prices.
a reasonable price as well.
So I saw this, and I want you to go ahead and take that. What are you looking at right there?
This is from Jameson.
Yes.
As ginger and lime. By the way, I'm a big Jameson fan.
I am too.
My wife and I actually made a big Irish coffee maybe I shouldn't say this on the air, but to take to church Christmas Eve.
Okay, so this is okay. Running out of time here, but I just wanted to, this was at CVS for half price. Jameson Ginger and Lime, sort of like a hard seltzer type. So it's got Jameson whiskey in it, and it's 6%. And I love Jameson and Ginger Ale, one of my favorites. So cheers to you.
I'm all about it.
The last Beer Sample Friday of 2024, even though technically it's not beer. I get it, people. Ooh, what do you think?
That's fantastic.
Yeah, pretty good.
The lime gives it a nice light taste to it. You get the Jameson. That's fantastic. I would absolutely drink these.
And again, CVS, half price. Like $6 for a pack of 4.
You go broke staying sober at those prices.
All right. Another hour of the Hammer and Nigel show coming up after 6 o'clock. We'll be right back.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
It takes everyone in the community working together to create a brighter future. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Visit liveunited.org to learn how you can help.
Hey, holiday heroes. It's a special time of year at Shane Company. As a family business for 4 generations, we know firsthand that fine jewelry is the gift that says it all. From the engagement ring that says, "You're the one," to the diamond tennis bracelet that says, "Thank you for being you." We have the widest selection of fine jewelry gifts, in stock and ready to take home. Come pick out a pair of hand-matched diamond stud earrings or a necklace with a colorful gemstone. Check out our new Bloom collection, one of owner Tom Shane's favorites this year, featuring stunning sapphires, emeralds, or rubies. At Shane Company, every gift and every price range is crafted to our high-quality standards. We have jewelers working in every store to bring your gifts to life, making sure rings fit just right, setting center stones and engagement rings by hand, and engraving your pieces to make your gifts even more special. Your gifts will always be protected with our unmatched free lifetime warranty. Visit shaneco.com and come see us in store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Around here, it's a little less about presents and a little more about presence. To celebrate, to share, and to give thanks. To be there. And right now, you can be there in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Shop any of Hubler's 12 locations or visit drivehubler.com and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle includes a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. You can be there for years to come because Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Happy holidays, Indiana. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations. May your season be full of presents. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Attention! If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 463-251-1912. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 463-251-1912. That's 463-251-1912.
This is Kevin and Kim at Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. This special time of the year, family is important, and we are here to keep yours warm and happy, just like we have for 40 years.
We appreciate your business throughout the year, and we are always here for you if you need us. So from our family and our entire team at Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Reinhardt is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
When it's time to renovate, it's time to call Booher, B-O-O-H-E-R, BooherRemodeling.com, because it's about the process. It's about dealing with professionals who are with you every step of the way, communicating how things work. The best craftsmen and professionals who have been doing kitchens and bathrooms in Indianapolis for 2 decades. Talk to Booher Remodeling today about how they work and why it will work for you and your new kitchen. Call 317-852-5546, 852-5546, or online at Booher, B-O-O-H-E-R, BooherRemodeling.com.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Marek Mazurek. December is an anxious time of year for many high school seniors as they scramble to finish college applications and wait to learn where they've been admitted. But there's some good news for many families. U.S. colleges are accepting a higher proportion of students in recent years. The median admission rate at four-year colleges and universities increased by more than 7% between 2012 and 2022, according to a new analysis from the American Enterprise Institute. One reason why colleges are accepting more students is because fewer high school graduates are going to college. In Indiana, the college-going rate was about 53% for the class of 2022, a 13% decline from a decade earlier. Most of Indiana's four-year public and private colleges accepted more students in 2022 than a decade earlier. That includes competitive schools like Indiana University in Bloomington and Butler University, which both admit about 80% of applicants. To see where Indiana colleges fall, head to InsideIndianaBusiness.com. Indiana Wesleyan University and Ivy Tech Community College have united in an effort that provides reduced tuition to transfer students who pursue degrees online. Ivy Tech students who transfer to Indiana Wesleyan after receiving their associate's degrees can receive a 15% discount on all online bachelor's and associate to master's degrees. From the #1 source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress, from the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, invest in connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures. Visit elevateventures.com.
Indiana University Maurer School of Law in Bloomington will launch a new master's program this fall aimed at non-lawyers. The Master of Legal Studies will work in conjunction with some of the university's other academic disciplines to provide non-lawyers with the opportunity to take law classes specialized to their already chosen career field. Leaders at Mauer see the program as a way to help address Indiana's lawyer shortage in the state. I'm Marek Mazurek for 93 WIBC.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, you got some rain today. You're probably going to get even more tomorrow. John Herrick reports on a man who couldn't outrun the cops on Interstate 69 yesterday, and police say they're looking for a man who was involved in an armed robbery. Jake McDaniel has that story. That's all coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 6 o'clock.
To protect a climate legacy. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. President Biden vacationing, the EPA devising ways to protect Biden-era environmental policies from the incoming Trump administration, as Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reports from St. Croix.
The EPA has announced that there's going to be $1.6 billion spent on, quote, environmental justice programs. One of the things President Biden said back in Washington earlier this month is he's daring President-elect Donald Trump to undo some of his green energy policies. President-elect Donald Trump has vowed to boost fossil fuel production, of course, and wants to renew those LNG exports on his first day back, he says. Recall the Biden administration put a hold on new licenses at the beginning of the year. Now, Biden's EPA could also take several more steps, including granting California a waiver to enforce its ban on the sale of new gasoline-powered cars.